bursts, you're not able to break smokes. It can be a little bit funky, and we have seen that before. We do get the very rare Thai alt chat. It's been a few years since we've seen this one.
Yeah.
Very rare.
Till this day, I don't know how the number 5 became the laughing thing for these guys.
It's
why is
okay. So I can explain
ha,
that.
ha, ha. Yeah. Okay.
So so 5 pronounced in Thai is ha. I think it's just like literally ha. So when they type 555 in Thai, that's ha ha ha, something like that.
Okay. Okay. No need for the accent, Jonathan.
No, you know.
My goodness.
I try every now and again. It's, you know.
You do try.
Just be.
You do.
Yeah.
It was good. Yeah. It was good.
Thank you.
We went to Thailand earlier this year, I think it was, John. Very nice place. Very nice country.
Very fun.
Love Thailand.
Oh,
anyway, smoke on smoke situation. So was the Philippines, by the way. I went to both, okay? I went to both. They were both fantastic. They were amazing. Before the Indonesians asked, no, I have not been to Indonesia yet, but I'm coming, I promise. I'm coming.
Wait, an Australian that hasn't gone to Bali? Are you even
That's
Australian?
the reason why I haven't. That's the reason why I don't go. I'll be honest, because I don't want to go to Australia again. Like, why am I paying to go back to Australia? That's why I haven't gone. Honest to God, that's why I haven't gone.
Fair
Settings
enough.
from Tim's.
Fair enough.
I mean, Tim's, you're playing Ricky, so how hard could it be? I was just like, go. Just go. Are we actually going? Is it fixed?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. The chief said we're going.
Quick fix. Yeah, it's all good. Maybe just a little bit of quirky thing left on. Still getting into this game. Going to be interesting to see how the mid matchup goes for Armel. He is going for what we've seen a little bit more nowadays. Bondage, Quap up against the static slide Storm. No surprises there from Mikado. You know, coming into range for the Shadow Strike might be a little bit more annoying here for Armel. Now, Mikado should still be able to play defensively if he wants to hold with the static remnant backwards. And there is some decent poke with Overload, of course. It's a little bit maybe cheaper to kind of expand out on Mikado, but you do have to respect the Shadow Strike and just playing into Bondage. Like that spell damage reflection will start to hurt the Storm, who's very reliant on it to just farm up the creeps. Rune control is going to be a very big aspect of this mid matchup as well. And you do have decent supports on both sides to make that call. I'd say the Power Rune is definitely in Talon's advantage when you have Prognosticate on the Oracle, so at least the 6-minute rune is your advantage here, but early runes, you know, if there's space in the side lanes, there could be some good movement out here overall, although maybe not so great in Tim's, depending on how many levels he gets by 4 minutes in. We'll have to see. Taking a gander at those other lanes, of course, up top, you are already starting with the pulls here from Tim's. Again, standard Ricky gameplay when he is support. Jabs is going to soak up some farm. You will get a little bit of a freebie out for Savage and just having his own area to farm without any concern, really. So the Gyrocopter is not going to be minding too much, but you might be able to get away with a little bit more than you'd expect for a melee matchup into Gyro. Double melee into Gyro, normally very atrocious time. Chase down potential with Rocket Barrage, Afterburner, and Fortune Send Root is big, but you just don't play the lane, and you miss out that power spike. So that is cutting into maybe some of the earlier tempo Talon would want to be looking for in lanes as well, but that's how you play it. And when you have Ricky, you just pull, and you keep pulling, and you keep soaking.
I mean, Jabs is going to be suffering a lot in the CS department, but this is the hero you drafted. Again, Ricky can have like crazy influence on this game. Like if Tim's pops off, I actually believe Talon are playing 3v5. If he pops off. But if he doesn't, you know, Boom Esports, they're basically playing 4v5 against a better draft. That's what it's going to feel like. This truly is game one of the supports. Like this game is all about Tim's Jiao, and of course, Cuckoo and Joker. That's what it's all about.
See if they can start pulling away later on. Checking that bot lane out. Jokam did go for the chicken finger, so you do have that additional stun to kind of try to combine with WS, and because it's a melee lane matchup, it doesn't feel necessary for to retaliate on long range poke. You're going to get extra value out with your one because you're up against a Bat Rider as well, so there's a little bit of a back and forth.
Oh, they're fighting.
That can
you
happen
know
there.
this fight, but you got to be a little bit cautious. They won't be able to get it on the Shaman anyway. I was getting a little bit concerned there for Talon because the Sticky Napalm was starting to stack up quite a bit here on WS, and you really can't underestimate. Even that level 1 flame break damage can start to stack up pretty bad, but it's like WS is going to be okay. That was a completely intended pun, by the way, John. I know you didn't really pick up on that one as mid lane. I was making the "Are you okay" meme, John. I guess it wasn't that funny because all I said was he's okay. You know, you know,
You could
It was-
you could have led
It was
into it.
bad. Yeah.
No, it's good.
I'll
attempt.
try again.
I
I'll
appreciate
try
it.
again.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Maybe
Later
we'll
on
get
in this game, I'll try again.
Maybe we'll get some all chat as well. Again, I'm expecting a little bit more outside of just Jabs and Savage. I believe all Jabs did was ask whoever wins will clear the flight for the other one, and Savage said yes. I have no idea what they mean. Maybe book their flight, upgrade their flight. I don't know how these players think.
The flights are covered, Makoto.
Time.
No, he's having a very bad time, John, but he is going to get saved by Master Cuckoo. Meanwhile, bottom lane, a chase going on here for the Shaman. Jokam in big trouble, but is still going to be able to make his way out. So no first blood to be drawn. Very close affairs as Cuckoo being chased a little bit by Tims, but is going to be okay. And he really did make it in the nick of time again, Cuckoo, on this Oracle. Like, had he not been there for that Fortune's End, the Shadow Strike would have guaranteed just killed his Storm. But thankfully for Makoto, he does have the boss, and in fact, Cuckoo's just sticking around now. And you know what? I wouldn't blame Cuckoo if he literally just sat here continuing to do that. Even though it might be a bit of a waste of time, but it is dragging Tims. It is keeping Makoto happy enough in the mid lane to soak XP. And I think this is all you can do right now against Armel, is just keep Cuckoo here to purge off the Shadow Strike every time.
It's just an atrocious lane matchup. Just a rough time once the levels are up. You do go all in here for Armel, level 3 Shadow Strike, so the damage is overwhelming. We'll see if Makoto can at least try to soak into 6 timing, but Armel's already half a level ahead. So once that threat of Sonic Wave is up, there's really not much saving you can do. Even dragging Zhao in now.
Zhao.
Looking for
Zhao,
Makoto.
yeah, I mean, just get the kill. They know he can't be saved this time. Zhao to secure first blood on the bat. That's very strong play from Boom Esports. And again, John, these supports, this game are all that matter. I'm telling you, it's all on these supports this game on both sides. Zhao, fantastic rotation.
Yeah, big one. And mainly because there's no threat from Centaur solo killing your Sven, of course. They will try now with WS, just poking. Don't manage to get the stun afterwards, unfortunately, from the Shackle, as Stormhammer is there.
Try again, though. Jackie, he ran back in for a creep. Blood Grenade's going to land, and they've got him. Oh, Jackie. Not going to be too happy with himself over that one. Of course, WS did go for the level 2 double edge, so he's got plenty of damage for this Sven. As Tims almost goes down. Might stills Makoto, going to chase him down with the Stampede. In fact, it's just a haste rune he has. Got very lucky with the rune here, Makoto. And he does secure a very important kill down to Tims.
And again, that's where some of that emphasis on mid maybe starts to downplay your side lanes.
Someone needs to help Jackie. He just TP'd back. He's going to go for a fight. Jokam is going to get stunned up, and the TP rotations do finally come in. They should at least have Jokam here. Jokam trying to buy some time, will go down, and now WS also going a bit too far, but Savage, he's going to intervene to boot. Looks like Jab's going to TP all the way in. WS still getting those sticky napalm stacks applied. They'll jump the Centaur. In fact, they've got Savage stunned up as well. Savage, what are you doing here, sir? Savage! He's all right for now, but they might dive him for this one. Oh, it's not enough. He will survive, but a very close call for 23 Savage. And Jonathan, I dare say, I don't think there's any need for him to be there. He's level 5. He has a free lane. He doesn't even have cooldown. Like, why are you here? Just farm.
I feel like there was some pressure to play aggressive from Talon being so far in. I think they really just wanted to slow down Jackie as much as possible. And he doesn't lose much. It is high pressure, but at least he doesn't die. Very risky. He mainly makes that move because you can't get that movement out from Mikado. He has no mana. There's no rune coming up, right? So I think that's why he's trying to pick up the slack, trying to join in this rotation where you'd expect maybe a Swarm.
Look at Zhao though, John. He's level 5 now. He just soaked the lane. He's the same level as Savage. That's a Bat Rider pos 4 that's about to hit level 6, John. Think about that. Prior to 10 minutes, that's huge.
That it is. And that's the sacrifice you make when you make that move out. And like you said, it's down to the supports. You're getting a lot more out, at the least for Zhao. Tims hasn't been able to get as much, but it is a Ricky. You're not expecting too much early on. So this early pressure from what seems to be a very quick lasso and potentially very quick blink here as well will lead to some issues. They've got some early wards as well that Cuckoo does not manage to de-ward. He drops his sentry down, doesn't cover the cliff. So they don't know that that area is being camped, and it's a very susceptible spot for Mikado to get catched out.
Looks like Savage should be okay. Cuckoo's going to be around anyway. There's no point really going for the Savage kill. It's very rare, I've got to say, that Makoto has a losing lane, and this is one of those games where he did have a pretty horrific lane. Armel, props to him, has been, again, the one player that's been performing consistently well on this Queen of Pain. Bottom, thinking about Joe Camp, but they won't pursue the chase. And Jal, he's being very good about this as well. He'll go back into the forest. He might just jungle a little bit for that level 6 mark. He doesn't really need to stick by Jackie anymore. You get so much more value from Jal hitting 6, and he's going to hit 6 the same time as Jackie's hit 6. 23 Savage just hit 6. Like, you've basically got another core right now.
And he is. Again, maybe without the farm, but certainly the levels are the ones that matter here to find that angle. Key thing is to try to leverage Chad. I think, again, the big opening for Boom is just how badly Mikado's lane has gone. He's not going to be able to rotate. He's not going to have too much impact early on, and he's already counteracted again by this Ricky pick to an extent.
Jal will go for a run with the Firefly. They'll pop the Stampede as well, and this time they catch him. He gets to level 6 and immediately dies. Amazing. So quite a bit of gold actually to WS.
A little bit of a caster's curse as has been happening here.
10-minute power runes, John. Oh, Makoto gets a very lucky regen rune. Armel trying to move in. He's moved into a lot of heroes, but the smoke screen from Tim's going to cancel the shackles. Makoto, he jukes the Sonic Wave. That's the first one we've seen here today, John, but the chase continues. Jabs, he'll get the job done. They'll give up Tim's, but they'll give it up happily. No problems here for Boom. That's a very, very good trade. And Armel will successfully retreat to Boom.
Yeah, they're making the Storm a non-factor. Such a hard game for Mikado. You're seeing, again, the impact of just a well-placed smoke screen out from Tim's, just catching Mikado off guard. He can't really do much. At least you still had a zip angle out, but the damage was done, even with a regen rune. Not really able to cover Mikado's full losses. You are getting free space out for WS. This isn't the most important hero, though, to have farm on, but there is some impact once, say, aura items start to come into play. I think the one concern for Talon is that, again, the vision game hasn't been taken out. Set to expire in 10 seconds at least, so the same move onto Mikado is a little bit more tricky to pull off.
Nice easy pick off here for Jal. I mean, Cuckoo, he's got time. He actually gets the false promise because he also hit his 6, but I think the damage won't be enough. Cuckoo should heal through this just fine, and he does. They'll go on to Savage instead, though. Savage, he got left behind. I mean, yes, Cuckoo survives, but they know Fate's Edict and False Promise was down, so they just go for the bigger kill anyway. That's another huge kill for Boom. That's massive.
I'm surprised Talon didn't just pop Stampede immediately. Like, WS had
They had Stampede?
Yeah. I was looking at WS. Maybe it just came off cooldown right as that move happens, but still, there's a window to try to run. Maybe even just to try to bail out Cuckoo the first time he's starting to get chain stunned. And they don't take it. Talon, yeah, looking a little bit shaky so far. Boom just looks sharper. 5-4, they've got the early advantage. They do have rune control on Talon, but you'd expect that when you have the Oracle, of course. They're not really able to use it much. And the only here that feels like it has play has been WS, who has been free farming. The blink timing on the Centaur is going to line up quite nicely. Not going to be an aura rush here with, say, Crimson Guard or a pipe to mitigate some magic damage. Just full on frontline initiation to cover the base that Mikado can't quite do for the team yet. But the map control is just out of hand. Boom, get that aggressive ward by the river up top in that expanded jungle. They still have wards defensively as well, watching your own jungle quite nicely. It's allowing them to play much more confidently across the river. Talon just don't have that same sense of security. They do have one ward watching the bot jungle at the least, covering WS's farm area, but nothing to really cover for Mikado and Savage overall. And then that's the pain point right now. Like, there's no play whatsoever for Talon yet. A little bit of a smoke with the two supports at least. I mean, they've got their ultimates ready. They could try for a cheeky snipe onto a solo hero. The issue is, you'll only find Zhao if you really run bot. Not the big one you'd want here.
Sadly, they're not finding anything by the looks of it. Zhao will show himself again. So it looks like they're gonna try and take it. Awkward smoke here from Makoto. He has just picked up a shield rune for himself in the storm. And activated it, for that matter. I mean, you probably just accept the Jowl kill, right? Because there's nothing else. The only issue is you're doing it right by the tier 2 bottom tower. So in the event that Jowl reads this movement during this pause, or he backs off and you miss the hoof stomp and you still go in, like, you're probably going to give up some kills here as Talon. It may feel a bit on the desperate side to try for this, but they probably will. I mean, WS looks like he wants to move in. Armel is around the tier 2. He's just behind. You have TPs on all heroes. So it's a matter of, do you think Boom will fight if they can't finish off Jowl?
Yeah, I think the bigger... I think one thing to note for Talon is that they don't know Tims is still camping top, right? Along with Jabs. So if you make that little play down bot, Savage is the bigger kill up top. And again, it's a terrible trade for Talon. So they have to really watch their choices. Maybe if WS gets the Stampede off, Savage just runs away. That's a possibility. As again, that's not been popped yet for WS. There's a retreat angle to take at least.
Yeah, they went in with Joe Camp. So not waiting for WS. Fair enough. He doesn't have anything like a blink up yet. I thought maybe you'd pop the Stampede first just to get the kill. But like you said, it's probably much better off saving it just in case the TPs come in. Microphone issue here from 23 Savage. That's okay. Tims is actually keeping tabs on Savage as well. He is underneath the Observer Ward right now, but Tim's just following him, kind of stalking him. They might need a +1 for this though. They're going to give it a crack. But the Stampede away is going to be just fine as Savage is sticking around. You do have Armel who was trying to move up. Meanwhile, Jowl actually going after WS but does need to leave. So Blade Mail almost ends up killing himself. Meanwhile, Talon just trying to secure the next power rune, and it's going to be another great rune for Mako. Amp damage here for the Storm. He'll keep that one bottle up. They already found the mid-tier 1 tower with these Shaman wards. And so the Talon, all things being said and done, even if the previous fights haven't really been going their way, they are still seemingly finding a lot of farm, and they are still finding objectives.
They are. I mean, again, there's a little bit of pressure on Boom to try to play up-tempo. I think, again, there's a concern if, say, BKB start to come in, your control starts to fade away, the damage can start to ramp up, durability kicks in for Talon as well once WS is activated. I will say that impatience on that gank down bot, they got the Blink Dagger from WS being delivered in like 10 seconds. If they just held out 10 seconds more, you'd have gotten yourself that freebie. It's a little bit messy so far for the angles coming in. Smoke out now from the side of Boom on our 2 supports. They see WS, and he is solo with no Stampede. Could be an easy one.
Nice blink away, though. Realizing there's just too many heroes missing off the map right now, WS. Looking to escape. The chase does continue. They might run into Joe Cam and... Oh, WS, he turns around. Oh, he turns around. They saw it. No need for Joe Cam. In fact, they might have a 2-for-1, but Makoto, he's going to jump in, trying to deal with Jowl, but a big Sonic Wave. Armel landing on 3, but it's not enough. Nobody will die. They'll bring in Jackie as well. Jackie, though, not at the stage where he wants to fight yet. And that's a huge turn from Talon.
Just too much durability in WS. It feels like they couldn't really fully commit either. They didn't have everyone up front, just Armel and Jowl in position to try to capitalize on that opening. And you kind of need everything if you want to go on the Centaur, even without the Stampede. So WS is feeling good. He survives the gank. They still have Stampede. They didn't use any ultimates there on the side of Talon. You didn't really try out any big committal anyhow on Boom. 70 seconds is not
They
too
know
much
it's
time.
coming. They've still got Lasso, but they missed the Rolling Thunder initiation. And WS, he got the illusion anyway. So they missed out on the power rune on top. So they are at least going to chase down Joe Camp. But the false promise from Cuckoo making it rather hard. And now the turnaround with the... Oh, come on. No, come on. I don't know. I don't know about these kind of pauses. I don't like them.
Yeah, it's not good. Let's see if something happens here.
Well, you have Smokescreen, don't you? No, you don't. They already committed it. They're still trying for Jabs. Jabs will go down. They're on to Jowl as well. Jowl will lose his life to boot. And Talon, another two for nothing trade. Going in their favor. Absolutely massive.
It is a little bit awkward for Boom, especially Jowl reinitiating. He had a lasso. He got stunned as he walked up. Good timing from WS. And that just kind of broke it apart. And that rune fight, again, was pretty... optimistic on the side of Boom. They did not have their full burst. Sonic Wave was just committed on that play down bot. There was like 70 seconds left for Armel. A long time that you had to wait. And you're not in fighting condition yet for Jackie. I'm a little bit surprised that all of these engagements are happening with Jackie sort of running in, as he doesn't have the trifecta up. He will have it soon.
Jabs getting caught here as well. Another nice shackles from Joe Cam. Jabs will drop. And this is where Talon, they're starting to heat up quite a bit here. Is what have they got?
Savage?
It's just going to be Jackie moving on to Savage. Savage still alive though. Cuckoo again will save. Oh, Cuckoo with the Pavis. The Pavis block just enough for Savage. Oh,
my God.
Talon. Cuckoo says no, not today. Akashi qualified, Cuckoo's got to qualify. That's the mentality.
Yeah, he's going to be blocking the rest of the Cuckoos for it. But he's putting the work in to save his carry. And Savage is going to be quite pleased with himself to meet back with his old friend from T1 days, you know, from the time when the whole shenanigan things happened and you had that statement from Savage. So you get a pause now from Zhao. I will say, yeah. Our managers, shout out to Nate, Nathanielus, Nat on Boom, and Lane on Talon. They have to sort this shit out. Come on, fix it up. This is unacceptable. Lane, Nate.
We can't get headset sponsors, guys. We can't get them. Your headsets are never working.
I think that's why they don't get headset sponsors. They just instantly say headset. And you cut to cams and you see what they're wearing. It's like, oh, not a good look.
Well, there
they can't sponsor any of these guys. They don't know how to make it work. Can't rely on the players, Mikey. Never can.
Look, as far as I'm concerned, if the headset has like Bluetooth or wireless, you can't give it to these players. It needs to be a corded headset. Otherwise, they have no idea what they're doing. They have no idea. I wouldn't trust these players to make toast. Even cereal, John. If I asked them to make cereal for me, I guarantee you, they'd be like, "Well, what are you talking about? How do I do that?" That's the kind of people we're dealing with, ladies and gentlemen.
That it is. I will give a brief mention. I feel like there's one player that has proven himself to at least be able to take care of himself, and that is Cox. Cox cooks. He cooked for Alphon, man. Cox cooked for Lane. That takes a lot of cooking. So, you know, props to him. Even though we haven't seen him at all in a long time, like, deserves that shout out.
Very romantic dinner between Lane and Cox. Nice to hear about. It's Makoto. What are you laughing at, John? I said nothing inappropriate there. Shout out to Lane.
Nothing
inappropriate. We are going for the Roshan
just...
attempt. Everything made sense, Jonathan. It's tongue-in-cheek. Very tongue-in-cheek, John. Talon. On to Roshan, don't go.
Yeah, not the quickest, but not the slowest when you have the wards dropped and a centaur to retaliate back. Boom should be very aware of this position. Like, they are smoked up. They can jump in. They've got the blink and Zhao. This could be nasty for Talon.
Oh, it sure could be. Rolling Thunder's going to come through. A big smoke screen as well. They'll pop the lasso, but they got 23 Savage in that lasso. Savage, he's still okay. He'll turn now onto Tim's. The call down as well. Meanwhile, they got the Aegis. WS picks it up, so they got away with it anyway. Armel goes down. Somehow Joe Camp's still alive. Meanwhile, Savage gets destroyed by Jackie. Tips out from Armel from the grave. There's your Aegis. Oh, and an amp damage on top as well. Gaben's Blessing coming in just in case Jackie needs it. Massive fight for Boom Esports. Only survivors being Makoto and Joe Cam. And Joe Cam, he only survives because of the stupid, the foul play crap that Shaman gets. That was literally it. He just hit in the Roshan pit as a chicken.
Yeah, and that's all you need to do. And for Talon, I'm just so surprised they commit for that objective without setting up vision. Right, again, not even setting up a ward on that triangle area, not being fully aware until the smoke came in. And the Stampede comes out, sure, but you got the blink angle out for Zhao to get the lasso. Stampede was a little bit too slow. Cuckoo gets stuck in a corner. Chain stun from some really good rolls out from Jabs. And without that Oracle, these teamfights are a nightmare. You do at least find a trade back, taking care of Armel early, but again, there's not enough in the tank to go afterwards. And Talon find themselves in the back seat now.
Makoto, he's all right. I thought Zhao had lasso there for a second. It was 3 seconds on cooldown. Apparently Makoto knew that too, John, because I doubt he'd be farming in that area if he knew lasso was up.
No, I mean, he knows how far to pick it. For Boom, like any fight they win now, it's just going to really lead back. Talon has to be cautious. They have Stampede back up with how long that fight took, at least. So there's always an escape plan, but that chain control coming in is nasty if Jabs lands that good roll.
Well, looks like they're going to go through the twin gates here. Or maybe not. Boom Esports. Not feeling it. Tormentor is being taken. So Talon will get away with the freebie on the Tormentor. Nice shards here for Joe Camp. Smoke up immediately from Talon. They'll try to head somewhere. Boom Esports on the opposite side of the map right now, though. But it looks like they're going to run the long way. They won't try to use the twin gates. Just a little bit too risky. There is a very nice regen rune down bottom as well. Makoto would be very happy to pick up a regen before any kind of fight really breaks out to begin with. It's like he will check to boot and he will see it. Very nice here for the Storm.
It's just a little bit slow here from Talon. They gave out their Shrines of Wisdom for that. No one TP'd onto a tier 2, so a freebie out for Boom. Again, these supports are getting a lot of EXP, more than you'd probably expect at this point for Talon. And I think one saving grace for Talon is that the farm game is still flowing. On the side of Boom, it's all in on Jackie, on the Sven, to kind of carry through this game. Number 1 in net worth, 14k, a good 3k above everyone else, so almost a full item ahead, which is what you want to see on the Sven. But again, the entire team has made sacrifices. Armel and Jabs have taken the back seat for that to happen, which isn't too bad. Like, as we're seeing the way Boom plays, Jabs really just needs to line up with the inhibit on his defusal and get the Rolling Thunder off and burn some mana on Cuckoo, and the game just becomes unplayable. Cuckoo?
Well, Stampede actually popped here to try and save the life of Cuckoo's. TPs are incoming. Finding nothing yet. Makoto, he's going to jump in after Tim's. Tim's just jumping away. Meanwhile, Lasso committed here by Jump, catching out Cuckoo and Jackie. The damage output here from Jackie is massive. Savage, he's been left behind. He's trying to clear out the stacks before he dies, but Jackie, he's just bloody huge, Sean. Which is why you give him Sven and not time. That's why.
So, and we're seeing the effect already. Jackie just having so much impact on Talon. It's looking shaky. That call to run back in after that failed initiation on Cuckoo while still having the Rolling Thunder up, while not having the best of vision to their own triangle, once again, pretty awkward overall. Like, you do have that one BKB on Mikado, and we're seeing it again. Like, they get that good initiation. Unfortunately, doesn't completely clip Cuckoo, but Talon's very split apart. And it clumped right in the right spot for Jackie to get that initiation. And the cleanup's just there. I mean, you've got the damage. Savage has none, with Warcry up especially. There's really no right click here on your gyro. And Talon just bleed that gold lead back. 11-11, 2k lead up now for Boom.
I was going to say this during draft as well, but I'm very shocked that teams just aren't first phase banning bat right now. Like, even in support, you see how great Zhao does. You know, you see an Oracle, you go for the immediate lasso, and that's it. The fight's over. Like, that's it. Like, how is this hero not first phase ban every game now? It's too good, this Bat Rider hero. It's just too good and too versatile at the moment, in my opinion.
Now, I agree with you. I feel like teams have learned about, like, the DP for sure. The Bat Rider has been less a priority, depending. I think we're seeing it a little bit more, maybe up against, say, Nemesis, up against Mac, but it still slides through every now and again. I think for Talon, this is where the challenge begins. This is that tempo we were looking for from Boom. The backline's almost always threatened. Tim's almost has his full Athos timing lined up. So now Stampede won't save. You don't have anything like Force Stabs yet on the side of Talon either, as they are opting for the Blinks on their supports.
I mean, this really does feel like Pig Jackie right here. Like, look at his net worth. This is old school Jackie. This is the guy that we used to see back when he was still new. It's like, I don't know if yesterday motivated him a bit, but I'll tell you what, John, he's looking like he's not messing around here today. No messing around.
No, certainly not. And this is his timing. And the trifecta's up with the blink as well. Talon, just, I know what you kind of have to do here in Talon. You have 2 BKBs up. Savage, of course, needs more damage. We'll have to go into the BKB first. Their map control has felt lackluster on Talon. They do have defensive wards, at least up top. And the smoke, fortunately for Talon, doesn't end up connecting just yet. But they really need that blink on Cuckoo. Like, he is putting himself in the firing line to try to get spells casted. They need this Oracle to actually get some big saves. And for Boom, I mean, Tim's doesn't even need to do much. Zhao is there to pick up the slack. Jabs has been so on point with his rolls. The inhibit's causing a lot of issues. The mana burn ruins. And that spell spam Cuckoo wants to maintain as well. And it's not looking like the kind of game that Mikado normally carries back from the brink. This is going to be hard to try to dig into that durability Jackie has. You might be able to find a backline, sure. But even that's a little bit challenging with how mobile they can be for Mikado. We'll have to wait and see. This BKB on Savage alone is not enough. Daedalus has to be on top of that, along with at least a Morbid Mask, I'd say, for you to feel comfy here. And that's just so much more farm you have to find. At least you are getting cheeky with Jokam. Just dropping wards, forcing responses out, forcing way to equalize waves, buying them time to fix other lanes as well, like top and mid. So you are stalling out a fair bit here on Talon, but the moment that next rush is up, and if Boom managed to find that, or find a follow-up fight again, you're in dire straits for Talon. Like, Boom, it's just so much easier to initiate. For Talon, you only have WS, right? Like, you jump in with WS, maybe Mikado, that's it. For Boom, you can start with jabs, no problem, nothing to scare him off that Rolling Thunder. You've got Tims as well, you can just jump in smoke screen. You've got the Blink Lasso on Zhao, you've got the inbuilt mobility on the Quap, the Sven with the Blink. Like, a lot of ways of just taking these fights, and Talon, it's kind of all in. If WS doesn't manage to get a good stun angle out, then you can say bye-bye to any hopes of bursting anyone meaningful down. And again, until at least the Daedalus on Savage, but even that just feels just very lackluster in this kind of game.
Still waiting it out. I mean, Boom, 2k advantage, but it's Talon they're up against. Like, Talon known for being that team that can make these huge kind of comebacks and play very long games as Jackie. He could get caught. If they caught Jackie, I mean, he's 4k ahead of anybody else on the map right now. He is well and truly worth a lot of gold for Talon if they can catch him, but they're going to start on Tims first. They want to get rid of that Ricky and not have to worry about the smoke screen. Tims, though, still not dying, finally should go down. Jab's going to move with the Roaring Thunder, but they've lost WS already. The Centaur's gone. Stampede was popped, but it's not really going to matter too much. Cuckoo, he pops the false promise on himself to try and survive. Can he make it out? He'll get to the fountain and survives. He will make it as Jackie continuing chase, but it is going to be a 2-for-1 in the end. The fight is well and truly over. It's another quick one for Boom, but they've got a T2 tower they can look to take.
Now you defend this in town, at least Godstrand's fading away.
TPs are coming in. Makoto, he's going to try and take advantage, but Jackie, he couldn't give a crap. He wants to go fight. In fact, never mind. BKB TP. Let me get out of here. No risking it.
He understands just how much he's worth. With Godstrand fading away as well, not really a fight you're keen on taking there for Boom. But they've done the damage again. You're seeing the issues that we were just talking about here for Talon. If their jump isn't good, and it's not particularly good if you just jump a Ricky, what do you do afterwards? What's your follow through? How do you get control? How does Jokam manage to get a good shackle off in this kind of game? It's very difficult. How does Cuckoo get position out without that blink on him? He has to be in the firing line to try to save. So you really lack options to fight here on Talon. It needs more time. You have a Crystallis up in Savage, that's a start, but again, not nearly enough. And even with a full Daedalus, I'd argue it's still not enough. There's just so much here from Jackie. Just the Warcry alone. I mean, 22 armor is a lot for a Gyrocopter to have to dig into. He's not the highest stat gain, Agi carry.
Makoto?
He doesn't have the highest
Makoto? Oh, they've got Makoto. Stampede's going to be popped. Makoto's gone, though. What a huge start. Tim's finding the primary target as Cuckoo gone to boot. And there goes Jokam. Double kill for Jackie. He's godlike now, but Tims, he couldn't believe what he was seeing. He couldn't believe it.
Yeah, I don't understand it either. I don't know why would you do that? He had the gem. It's given away into a Ricky lineup. Now you have complete map control on Boom. Talon is just falling apart. You know, maybe as a result of yesterday carrying through a little bit here. It's not good. Boom looking so sharp. Again, they've shaken off that rust from the last qualifier they were in that ended horribly for them. They're looking to be in fine form after some corrections earlier on this qualifier. They've got free access to Roche for the banner. Nothing to be scared of. There's no threat from Talon. I don't know where you're supposed to find damage. Like, legitimately. Daedalus is flying in. It's so what? Like, Savage has so much armor he has to dig into. I don't know how you play this. Talon has to show us some magic here, because a little bit of a miracle has to come in because Boom has just been so on point.
They're gonna try to
this too?
This is crazy. Are they baiting a fight? It looks like they're trying to bait a bad fight from Boom. Zhao's got lasso. It's crazy risk. Like, you don't want to lose WS that early. He's too impactful here in this next fight. I mean, everyone's very impactful, don't get me wrong, but... Well, speaking of, Cuckoo especially cannot afford to die. That's the one guy. I think if you had to choose, you do not want to see that Oracle die first. Here we go.
Oh, good scan.
Smoke up Makoto. Is also going to get smoked. He won't go for that creep wave. Wrap around Zhao. How fast will you react? Apparently fast enough. They'll jump in for the lasso. Jackie jumping in to try and finish the job. But the Sonic Wave, it's going to be enough. Makoto's gone. They didn't see him in time. It's another one fight for Boom. Not even close. Put him in the shredder. Jackie's on a triple. Not even close. Oh, you tell me, John. Lane, Lane, get the coffee machine ready.
No, look,
start the coffee.
Right in range. He was in range to Fortune Send and False Promise. He did nothing. What is that?
Oh no.
What's happening here, Talon? He false promises Jocam? For what? Like,
get the coffee ready.
I don't get that. The smoke breaks and they just stand still there as well. Like this is just
no Starbucks. They don't deserve it. Get the coffee
doesn't
machine
deserve
ready.
to get anywhere. Talon is just complete and utter trash of this. If this is what they expect to play the last slot to TI, they have some rethinking to do here.
This is my favorite kind of John X Fire. This is my favorite John X Fire. This is the one I love to hear.
What was that? This is garbage. Complete garbage, Dota. We've seen better games from, I know Tech Free Gaming had more plays to show us. Kapite looked better. What is this
John
on the
X
last
angry.
day?
We've got John X angry, ladies and gentlemen. He's not happy.
This is atrocious.
This is my favorite
there's no
job.
defending that play. That's just garbage. Complete and utter trash. Straight from the bin. What the hell happened? Did we switch our 5 players for I don't know, a bunch of randoms in the street in the village? Like, what is this? They're getting, I mean, it's an outplay, sure, but Cuckoo wasn't even stunned. I can't even wrap my head around. Maybe he couldn't believe it. That they were just standing there with the smoke broken and just willing to die. Because I don't know what he was thinking. Why would you fall? What's happening? It's just mind-boggling. Mind-boggling. And the reason why I can do this is I feel safe when I can, other teams I defend this. With Talon, I can dig in better, I got an angle in to be spicy, Mike. It's good.
You do, John. You're doing a great job. We love it, John. Trust me, we all love it. Keep up the great work. Jocam? No, he's not. He's okay. He reacts quickly, John.
Yeah, at least he does.
Maybe he should
said about Cuckoo this game. Yeah, perhaps. Might have been the call. Godfather Cuckoo certainly showing a little bit of that Godfather age. I'm pretty sure there was at least a second window he could have tried to save Mikado there. Nonetheless, things move on, and for Boom, this is looking easy. Easy peasy to the road to TI. All you hope now for Boom, don't troll. That's the number one thing, but Boom hasn't thrown in a while, so they should be fine. Easy siege coming out for Jackie. I mean, he has a Satanic. He's going for the Swift Blink. He's going to get Daedalus afterwards. There's no stopping this man.
Jackie. This is classic Jackie. This is him. Jump in. Oh, maybe not him. Jackie, don't make me look stupid now. Lasso's out from Zhao on to Savage. They're going to just chase him down. Meanwhile, Jackie needs to run. He's got an Aegis up. He's still got God Strength going. In fact, he'll turn around at 23 Savage and Satanic. It's going to heal him up. Those false promise at the very least, but Savage, can he continue to get to the fountain? He's taken so much damage here from Jackie. I don't know if he's actually going to survive. In fact, he won't. There was no heals coming in. There's no buy. Oh, there's no buyback. What? What do you mean there's no buyback? It's over. Cuckoo's down. They have not called, John. This is Talon. They are known for holding. They've got a tier 2 tower bottom. Makoto. At the very least, chances are it's only going to be 1 racks because the respawn timers are low and God Strength is gone. Maybe they try for the second. I highly doubt it, though, because, again, it's a bit risky.
I mean, you have 2 minutes on Aegis. What's the risk here? There's no concern. Look at Jackie, no care into a center with Blade Mail.
The Talon are very good at high ground defense, though, John. We've seen this many times. As much as you don't want to admit it right now, They are very good at defending height. Just look at that. No racks. No racks taken.
No, you know what? I appreciate this from Boom. They respect the fact that there's always an angle to throw. Don't take the risk up against Talon. You're right. This is a team that punishes, even though right now it's looking abysmal. Jackie is just a man on his own. 27k net worth. Next one to him is Armel and Savage at 18. A full 9k above on this Sven. Worlds apart. Swift blink up. Daedalus to come out next. Age is still a minute and a half, which now should just be for farm. For Talon, I legitimately don't know what they can do. I mean, that was very fortunate for them. The lasso was reflected back with a really good Lotus coming in there from WS.
Yeah.
Literally saves the day. In fact, WS is taking matters into his own hand. He's going to get the workhorse up. He's going to start to hitch a ride for Savage, get some saves up. That's a good option. Or save Cuckoo. Legitimately, either or. Jabs has been very good at keeping Cuckoo stun locked.
Agent K remembers what Savage said. He remembers, John. Cuckoo remembers. How many Filipino, Savage? How many did you say? That's the problem. Savage, you gotta be careful with your words.
And he has. It's been a few
country
years
before team.
Well, I don't know about that. You know, if it works, it works. That's all I'm saying.
I'm just joking, John. I'm just take it easy, John. Here we go. Jackie. T3 tower. Stun is up. Age is still 25 seconds to go. This time the T3 tower should eventually go. They still have the Roshan banner with double siege creep. So at least the T3 tower. Gabs, thinking about committing. The thing for Boom is they don't need to commit. Because they've got, in my opinion, their draft just works better in the late game, apart from maybe that Makoto Storm, which is going to get pretty scary. But the Sven vs Gyro matchup, like, genuinely, unless this game goes for another hour, I don't know if Savage actually gets to a stage where he can contest Jackie.
No.
Like, look how far apart they are. There's a 10k advantage on Jackie in comparison. WS. Jump in. False. Oh boy, here we go. No false promise to come out. Jabs is taking care of Cuckoo. Ethereal form for WS is going to save it because he had the Ghost Scepter, but not for long as Makoto going to try and jump in. They'll drop the false promise on WS. He does make it out, but they need to escape everybody else out of there, and it seems like they will, but WS will die. Even with the false promise, it was too much damage because Jackie, look at Jackie. He's just right in. He is just right in. Jackie, he is not having it today. It's Makoto desperately trying to save this game, but he's doing it without a carry.
Without a carry for a minute
WS.
10, WS.
And Savage, I think even Savage knows he's at that stage where it might be time to think about calling it. He's just so far behind. You're so reliant on Makoto and WS now to try and carry you through this one, as they are going to jump in again. Armel looking to fight this one out with his BKB. A big sonic wave. Cuckoo's going to go down. They've even got Makoto. Beautiful work from Tims. WS a 3-man stun, but where's the help? Makoto, he's going to fight back, but this is the final ditch effort to try and save this game. Can he zip away? He can for now. He'll zip back towards the base. And again, they have saved. WS and Makoto. They're holding the line here, John. They're holding. They're requesting backup. But backup is a little bit weak right now, John.
That it is, extremely so. There's no damage on Savage. He stood his ground with Satanic trying to trade blows, but it's really not doing anything to good old Jack. In fact, I'd argue perhaps this could be a game where a Revenant's Brooch might be more valuable as the magic damage, true, at least. If you're trying to hit Jackie, could be nice. Could be one way to go, but I don't know. Even that, it's not that convincing to me, so we'll have to see. His base damage isn't high enough in Savage for the damage to really feel particularly amazing either.
They pop God Strength, and they won't find anything. Zhao, he was looking for a lasso, I believe, onto Cuckoo. Not going to get it this time around. In fact, it was Jokam, excuse me, that he was trying to grab, but he blinks away. Jokam has been very good in this Shaman. Very quick reactions, not really making any mistakes, I want to say. In fact, but all the supports have been playing extremely well. I mean, yeah, Cuckoo, he missed one false promise that's kind of led them to this stage. But apart from that, I think, honestly, the Talon supports have been doing great. I think that there's one piece of the puzzle missing right now on Talon. He's trying. It's slow, but he's trying.
That he is. Again, the matchup just doesn't work out anyhow. Like, I don't know how Savage is supposed to win prolonged fight. The ideal now is to try to kite Jackie, but we're not seeing that. There's so much space being created by Boom. Woody smoke screens up with a shard, with a rollout from jabs. Like, there's way too much to worry about. Like, once they commit and Boom, they are going to find a kill. Like, there's no saving it right now in Talon.
I actually don't know if there's even a point to Savage buying like the butterfly for the evasion and all that crap either. Because I think Jackie's just good enough to rely on the cleave. I actually like the idea you had. I think Rev Brooch plus Divine is the way to play it. Just kite out BKBs. Like that might actually just be it. They'll go Daedalus. That's okay. They're not going to go Rev Brooch, but I actually think Rev Brooch plus Divine is probably the way to do it.
I mean, I appreciate the butterfly in that the base stats, really, it's just more agi. It feels like it's just more damage. It's not even really about the evasion, I don't think. He just wants to go all in on agi, try to get some more stats up, because quite frankly, your output right now in the gyro is pathetic.
Here we go, Lasso Savage!
That's it.
Call it.
No
Call it.
buyback again?
It's over. Call it. I didn't want to say no buyback, John. I didn't want to say it. I mean, look, he bought out his Daedalus. He's doing what he needs to do. But you've got to respect that position you're standing in, even if you've got D wards there, it doesn't necessarily mean they're not going to find you. Top racks, jump in, WS, again with Makoto. They're going to try and save this game. Armel jumps in. The Shaman, Joken, going down, gets into the foul play. Surely doesn't survive, but the workhorse. WS Dragon Joe came out of there, and now the shackle from the workhorse. Look at this. Jabs, he's gonna walk away. Oh, the longest tongue you've ever seen, Joe Cam. Here we go, onto the cop again, Armel. Don't get Megas. Workhorse plus shackles. It just looks so stupid. You know what it looked like, John?
That it is.
That was Jiraiya. That was Jiraiya from Naruto right there. Shout out to anyone who knows. That's Jiraiya.
I see. Fair enough. Unfortunately, and as funny as that is, it's really... I mean, that's not the combination you're looking here on Talon, for sure. I don't know what combination works. You put Savage there, maybe he gets some hits with the Divine, sure. Can he farm the Divine when you're up against mega creeps like this with no map control? Probably not. And boom. They've just done such a great job. Again, there were some questions coming in, whether or not Boom could carry through, whether or not they could even beat Execration. They do cleanly a little bit in 2-1, not as clean as you'd expect. Right now, up against Talon, looking very clean. As Talon just, I know. Again, it's messy from Talon. They didn't get to play earlier. That's one thing as well with this squad and this org in general that I feel has been consistent. Whenever they do not play a series before a final, they look like they never warm up. I don't know what it is about them, but it certainly always looks like they're underprepared in game one. And it has looked flaky here for sure. Boom, just go for the safe play, take Roshan, refresh shard on hand with a banner and the cheese in Aegis. And you should have no problems clearing out the rest. But literally no concerns here. For the side of Boom, secondary life for Jackie, refresh out for for Jabs. They'll get the cheese and the banner up as well, and that should be it. That should be your last siege out, Talon. I mean, if they can somehow farm the Divine, maybe it's a miraculous hold. Without that Divine, Savage dies, you call it. That's it. There's no way.
Look, if there's one team that can come back from this position, it's Talon. All right? These are the guys. They've done this before. We've seen this many times, John. We've casted this many times.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're going to do it. I'm on the same boat as you. I know it looks impossible. I agree. I don't even think it's Savage carrying the game. I think Makoto is going to carry if they're going to win. Straight up. If they're going to win, it's going to be Makoto. But I don't think he can do it.
No.
But if they do it, I can almost guarantee you it's the storm.
I mean, I can see that. Maybe, look, a little bit of a stretch. The shard of Makoto can actually do some work. Again, it's some magic damage with attack speed. So that's actually pretty useful against the Sven. Whether or not he'll buy it, I mean, certainly not. He's going to have to try to go for something bigger. Side of Boom doesn't need to rush into this either. They just need to wait for Talon to mess up or even just walk to the edge of their high ground. And that's an opening enough. Unfortunately, they don't have vision out at the very least.
Oh, they're going to wait. Savage, are you going to go for the creep? He's going for the creep wave here, John. I think it should be WS. This is very risky. He'll hang by the T4s, but you're up against the bat. Xiao's going to show up. They jump in. Lasso's out. They chose WS instead. The false promise is going to buy a bit of time here, but Cuckoo is already down to boot. WS, he's out of there. But Savage, he's trapped up between the T4 towers, and he gets critted. Jackie takes him down with a huge crit. He'll buy back into the team fight though. The Surf wants to block the way. Meanwhile, Makoto trying, but the Sonic Wave RML hitting 3 of them by the fountain. Onto the tier 4 towers, they'll go boom. Trying to put a lid on this one. More buybacks to come. Now Joe Cam coming in as Makoto. Gonna jump in again. Joe Cam, who are we aiming? He's trying for the Pango, but Jabs is fine as now the tricks of the trade. Makoto's gone. So is Savage, they call it. GG. Game 1 goes the way of Boom. The standout player is indeed Jackie. He gets it. I'm not even going to pretend. Yeah, the support's played great. Jackie, this is classic Jackie. This is motivate, trust Jackie we just watched.
Yeah, it definitely is one that Lena will lose out on. Pango doesn't have too much presence there. You can maintain. You can try for a 50-50, but chances are Lena does overtake. And I think, again, this Axe pick to counteract the CK plus Beastmaster is pretty smart from Talon. Along with just having Tide go safe lane, it can scale. Like, look at his talents, right? Like, 25-50% chance of Anchor Smash on attack. That's every other attack, theoretically. With something like a Harpoon plus AC in a late game scenario, this hero scales. Issue is, it scales better in a turbo match. This is not turbo Savage. But Savage has done this before with some heroes. You know, Talon was the team that ran Dark Willow 1 as well. After we started seeing it, and you know, we started to meme about it in the longer games that reached 90 minutes. We're like, oh, if it's a turbo game, Dark Willow's insane. Talon took that a little bit seriously, but it did work at that point. See if this late smoke pans out as well.
I mean, they will see Jal. I might add, I didn't say this, but I actually prefer Talon's draft this game too, comparatively to Boom. I actually think this Axe is like super scary with Makoto Lena. Here we go. Tim's. He's going to run to a few heroes, stuns all of them up thankfully, but is probably still set to fall as they are going to try and help out here with Jackie with a 3-man stun, but Joe Cam is going to be able to secure the kill for himself on the Slark. And already a fantastic start here for the side of Talon.
We'll turn this tide to our
Gonna be nice and happy to get that early kill, bully out this CK a little bit. Also a little bit surprising they're putting Tims on CK instead of Zhao. That does mitigate some of the laning issues perhaps here, so we'll have at least a Stormhammer arrow to play with later on, if you will get that up. Normally you go Starstorm anyhow. Taking a look at that mid. I love this cheekiness coming out from Jabs. He's just throwing in the boar to provide some harassment onto Mikoto early on. Like, he actually has one boar sitting here. It doesn't have too much time left, but he's just making it a little bit awkward for Mikoto to try to work out this mid matchup. For Armel, this is not an easy mid. Right? He's heavily outranged. He's heavily out magic damaged. At the least, you do have, again, your shield crash to try to maintain. You've got your swash later on to try to maintain, but overall, this should be a much better time for Mikoto than it was for his Storm and Quap. So we'll have to see if Armel can carry through from that pressure. My big thing is that Boom's rotation is scary. Reality Rift from Tims, from Smoke, or from Fog is going to be big. Arrow, eventually, if you have the value point in Zhao, or even just being able to run into the Reality Rift with Starstorm, with that Starstruck facet, is insane. So I think there is some ways of making Mikoto's game still hellish to play up against. It's just a matter of, can you leave your side lanes? With the heroes you have, you certainly should be able to, right? Like, it's a Beastmaster, it's a Svander tanky enough, and they can be left alone at, say, the 4-minute water rune mark, the 6-minute power rune mark. They should be able to contest, and if Mikoto loses tempo from losing rune control, again, it's his game to carry. You want as strong of a start as possible for that Lina. And Boom should also understand that that's the one hero they really have to control here.
Be very, again, very scary. I really do like where Talon have gone with this style of draft here for game 2. I'm gonna say it brings me a lot more confidence than what I saw in game 1 already. Just a matter of whether Makoto can have one of those classic Makoto games. See WS on the Axe looking to perform very well as well. Very, very important. Of course, Jackie, he had a brilliant last game, went 20-1 in kill score, and at one stage was like 15k ahead of anyone else in the map, which is, again, is just classic Jackie. The Talon kind of hope that doesn't happen again. So I imagine this time they will be having a look around to see where they hold this fence farming and
My master. My master.
My master.
Can you chill?
Beep, beep.
Yeah. Armel's been on a roll.
It's
He
hard.
has been on a roll this tournament. And he's been back in top form.
He has.
I think, again, this matchup should be better for Mikado at least. So and that should calm Armel down a bit. Mikado should be able to get a little bit more. We shall see. Again, depending on how well you can rotate here on the side of Boom. For Boom, the interesting thing for me is going to be the Tims on the CK. This Cloven Chaos is actually quite nice. Like, it's a ton of damage. It's a ton of control that just flies out. There's not a lot of presence for Talon up top. I think this Tide Bane lane is pretty passive. You could try to Nightmare setup into a Gush right-click chase, but it's not going to be particularly a lot of damage. And they are very durable on the side of Boom. Like, that's a Beastmaster in CK, with a ton of HP built in. So I'm not expecting too much from Talon up top. Tim's just going to get a good block on the camp, get the pull as well, and he's going to be able to time that pull to maybe make Cuckoo think twice about whether or not this blockable or not. He just walks out before the minute mark, blocks out the large camp as well. Very smart gameplay from Tim's, and he's going to get his soaking. Right, he's going to be able to just soak into level 2, which is a big spike for the CK support once you have the Reality Rerift option up. There is some threat onto Savage even once that's available with the Boris spam and maybe even the Axis up here from Jabs. So again, you've got yourself some good lane setups here on the side of Boom. Outside of mid, we are seeing still some good early presence out from Armel, managing to find some good denies, managing to find some good CS as well.
A bit of a chase onto Jal. Joe Camp will have to give up on the chase eventually because Jackie will intervene, but Jal needs that level 2 mark to at least have a level in Leap to try and get away from this pesky Slark. Meanwhile, WS, he was just farming behind the tier 1 tower because naturally Joe Cam is going for the creep pulls whenever he can. Again, very important that WS has a strong performance, I think. You never want to see an axe fall flat after the laning stage. It just doesn't tend to recover very well.
No.
You tend to feel a lot more comfortable with this bottom lane as well once you have that damn Vanguard up.
And it does. And so far, again, into a melee lane matchup, at least there's some pressure here from WS. It's not going to be very easy to dive on him unless they can just always connect, say, a free arrow stun combination. Stormhammer into arrow can be quite sick, but he's tanky enough that shouldn't be a concern. So, just going to be able to get that build up. Again, the key thing is offlane and mid perform here for Talon. For Boom, they just need to get even on lanes. Honestly, like, if you draw even on lane matchups, you're happy. Like, Armel's still pulling ahead of Mikado somehow on mid. He's managing to dodge out some good Dragon Slaves out. Still securing the CS, still securing the denies. Mikado's starting to catch up with his wave at the very least. But again, this is the lane that you really need to win out on for Mikado, and it's turning a little bit more 50-50, which for Boom, it's a good start. They didn't even need to really contest for water runes, although there was a deny from Jabs. Again, very sick with a micro here on that Beastmaster, even from early on. He's just constantly allowing it to give that control onto mid. Mikado without a bobble top-up is not going to feel great. Bit of a dive bot.
Big call though, WS, he takes down Jal. Jackie, going to be okay to survive. Jal will go down. WS, though, starting to really enjoy himself down at this bottom lane quite a bit more. And Talon, again, things are going very smoothly. Like, Makoto's free farming, WS free farming, Savage free farming. All the lanes going pretty nicely right now for Talon.
That it is. I'm a little bit surprised perhaps the top isn't as aggressive, but you still have level 1 in Tims. Like, he's not been able to freely soak until like level 2 or 3 spike. So that is holding back that aggression that can come in there. Water Rune is both secured by Talon, so they will at least get away with that. Armel this time with no top up at 4 minutes is maybe a little bit more impactful into that build up to level 5, level 6. It's a little bit more play there for Mikado in that matchup. And good reads out from Talon, considering what happened earlier with the Boar Micro. This is a little bit more for Mikado to play with. Boom, for their part, though, I don't think they're feeling pain in the lane. Right? Like, they understand if your CK support isn't able to soak solo, you don't really have kill threat. So that top lane just slower. Bot lane, because your Miranda doesn't tend to really emphasize arrow, and because Jokam is being pesky, and you didn't run the CK double stun lane down bot, it's a little bit harder to punish. But you are still finding farm as well in Jackie. Like, he's not too far behind. WS is farming, but not really by a higher degree at all. So it's a very even laning start, which I would say outside of the kills for Talon, this is pretty happy still for Boom. I think their power spikes are still lined up. The one concern is whether or not you can make that rotation at the 6-minute mark. These supports are fairly under-leveled at 6. I mean, level 3's a little bit better, at least, but it does feel like if you don't take care of the power rune, if it's a good one for Talon, that could be the start of more things to come in the laning phase at the very least.
Absolutely. Look, I think for me, at the very least, like Talon, they had a really rough start to the game last time around, so it's nicer to see a bit more of an even time here from their side of things. Not so much action though from either side. Everyone just happy to hit creeps. I mean, again, no need from Talon to make any kind of action happen. They're just more than happy with these kind of heroes to play into the laters. Mid-game, mid lane, excuse me, they try for Makoto, but he's going to be okay. Quick rotation in from Cuckoo as well. Yeah, you do have a pos for CK. Like, you don't have the greatest kind of damage output or control yet from Tim, so at the very least, he does enable a power rune pick up here for Armel, and that's what the rotation was really all about in the first place.
Yeah. And I do appreciate the synergy that this CK can have. I was expecting a Reality Rift into a Swash. That minus armor stacking up is massive. We're seeing WS now take complete control of bot because of that movement out in securing these runes. There is space for the Axon to just cut lane, cut it into the camp, get that flash farm going. Vanguard already up here for WS. So he's getting tanky on the Axe. Not an easy one to solo lane up against for Jackie. And again, the key parts for Talon in this draft is having a good offlane mid. And so far, they have managed to find that. WS #1 in net worth, pretty high up there as well in CS, already able to jungle efficiently. If you were saying the last game, Mike, was the support show, in this game, a little bit less so, but it is a rougher game for the supports as well, especially for the side of Boom, right? Like, you've got two supports that really want to be able to rotate. They haven't gotten the connections yet. They will at least get the Shrine of Wisdom for Tim, so he does get level 3, level 2 up in the stun. And they do manage to build up stacks that haven't been fully scouted out by Talon. So the recovery farm is there, the flash farm at the very least here, for Jabs to get into that Dominator. Overlord timing is starting to ramp up. And that is something that Talon will have to find a way to mitigate. Again, you've got this Axe that can run at the creeps, I guess, and call them. Would be fine with just taking that free farm. But it can still be quite a challenge into the Wild Hunt Beastmaster, as that pushing pace, once you do have a little bit of an army up, let's say a Dark Pearl Summoners in your hands, can be quite oppressive from Jabs here early on.
It's just concerning though how fast WS is picking up farm. The thing with Axe is, like, there's so many timings regarding Axe, but obviously the main one being, you know, you want that Blink Blade Mail after your Phase Boots and Vanguard, which is what WS will go for now. I think WS can happily afford to just go Blink first. In fact, as I say that, WS is going to get caught being a little bit too confident with his position. They will finally punish him for that, as Jackie will take his life away. Before I started talking, John, WS was having a fantastic time. He still is top of the net worth board, and well, what I was trying to say is he might go for the Blink before the Blade Mail, assuming he doesn't fall behind.
I think that's what we've been seeing from Axis lately, anyhow, across the regions. It's the same build-up, Vanguard Blink. So it should be the way to go. And that control is massive, of course, in the initiation angle out. A little bit of a deep dive with this ward here. Can't really find Armel, unfortunately.
That's going to reveal that there probably is a ward on that cliff, so that should get de-warded here by Boom. Is Jocam going to run into Zhao? Zhao, not liking what he's seeing, will retreat. Jackie, once again, though, concerningly enough for Talon, has found himself at the top of the net worth board, and this time they do have a pos for Slark, and you can see Jocam already staying around the Sven, making sure they've got tabs on him at all times. And this is something I imagine Jocam will have to do the whole game, is just make sure they know where this Sven is. There's a nice call comes out from WS down bottom, but it's just to threaten him away from this lane. They know they can't actually kill him without a +1, +2, but here comes Makoto. This is the guy you needed. He's got an amp damage. Laguna Blade comes out. Jackie trying to get it in fog, but he can't do it. A very nice rotation from Makoto, securing the Sven kill. And now look, just look at the net worth graph, how quickly it changes. All 3 calls from Talon right at the top.
Yeah, I think, that, again, it's the sacrifices Boom made with these supports that aren't able to play with that early tempo we were looking for. Right, like, we haven't seen the impact of Tims yet. We haven't really felt the impact of Zhao, although he is getting some good arrow follow-ups at the very least. We're not seeing the big kills that these two need to really get tempo up. They have been handing free space to Jabs up top, but the threat from the Wild Hunt isn't as big onto a Tide Hunter as it would be to other cores. So Savage just walks up, has the maxed out Anchor Smash, level 3 Kraken Shield as well. Not an easy one to pierce through for that push. Oh.
He's going to get jumped. Makoto is there to try and help, and he does get in that cheeky corner. Nightmaring into the high ground. Quick thinking from Master Cuckoo. And Jokam will hand the tip over. Very clever.
That's it. That's what Armel said. His master. Learning a little bit more from the master himself.
He's clever.
Mind you, I do like the wards that, again, Boom keep finding themselves. They get that deep ward once more, right behind the tier 1 there. That was a spot Talon checked last game, so that should be a spot they are keenly aware of. We'll see if they'll get the D ward later on. This passive game is playing into Talon's hands. 4K up. They'll catch Jokam at the least. Not the biggest kill in the world, though.
No, it's just a cheeky arrow from Zhao. Pretty sure he actually did that that arrow blind as well, so Jokam getting caught with an rogue arrow, not going to be happy about that. It's not the Jokam kill you worry about, it's the fact that you're giving it to the Sven that I think you got to be worried about as Talon. Because, again, this guy, he farms fast when he gets into his little tempo, so you don't want to allow it. At the very least, Talon, again, still in a position of power. 4K advantage their way. No real big contest as Cuckoo's going to get chased down by Jabs. Nothing Cuckoo can do about it this time around. And Boom look like they want to try and connect mid-tower with the Beastmaster. And of course, Jabs will be able to take it very quickly, but Savage, he TP'd in front of Tims. So he got his TP cancelled. He TP'd right in front of Tims by the tier 1 tower. And that could cost them the tier 1 mid tower. I think it has.
Yeah.
Oh, that's an awkward error. That is very awkward. He was right in front of the Radiant tier 1. Call out. They do catch Zhao. Very good call from WS.
As something to compensate for it, maybe they could try for their own siege onto the mid-tier 1. They still have that threat of Ravage. Savage is fairly tanky. Vlad's is up. Looks like he wants a casual plate mail into the full Ags to clear out these creep armies. And if you equalize, that should be enough.
WS knows he can't contest right now. Makoto's there as well to back him up. Jackie needed help a lot quicker than that. The TP's there coming. Jackie, what do you do this time? He's going to continue running. Stun is out. Makoto, are you going to keep committing? The arrow, it doesn't connect. Jackie still running. Finally will go down, but they might lose Makoto. Though a nice call from WS holding them back. Makoto's out of there. They will chase him down with this Rolling Thunder. Can he juke? It looks like he can for now. Fiend's Grip as well. Cuckoo to lock down Armel. Here comes the turnaround from Talon. Armel in trouble now as well. The call is perfect. WS to lock him down. Armel still trying. Misses the swash. And he's dead. Talon cleaning up bottom lane. They'll even find the Marana. And eventually they'll have another one. WS picking up his second kill of the game. And this is more like the Talon I know.
That it is, Mikey. They're showing up. They've got the tools to actually make some plays. The Blink from WS much more impactful already compared to that Centaur Blink we saw in the last game. And the main thing that's different here for Talon is that Mikado actually had a link, right? Like, Boom did such a great job in identifying that last game and just bullying out Mikado. He had nothing to do in that storm whatsoever. It leads to the surprise for me that the Pangoliers the call for Armel. Like, yeah, he didn't lose lane to Mikado, sure. But Mikado had a lane to play. And that's the key thing with this guy. If you do give him a lane to play, if he has rune control on his hand, then he will make that investment work. A little bit of a run around just with a Phantasm Illusions to play poke, just a scout out here from Tims. Not going to really lead to too much haste rune out for Savages. He does have that full plate mail up. So he's willing to be much more aggressive now on this Tide. Maybe a little bit too far forward on his own. WS.
Call out. Roar is committed though. They do have the backup this time from Jabs and WS. This is one other thing you got to be careful about as an Axe, John, is sometimes you get too confident. Sometimes you just feel unkillable. And that is not the case. Not for WS yet. Had he had the blade mail, I'd say he could play those risky kind of plays, but not yet.
No, certainly not. I'd say even with the blade mail, he'd get magically bursted a little bit quicker than he'd expect. And then you have to kind of respect, say, the value from Storm, even though it's just level 1. The damage coming from that roar itself. So,
Triangle.
Can be a little bit tough.
He's trying to bully Jackie out of here, and he's doing a good job of it. Makoto's right behind Savage if he needs it this time. Bottom, a big group up going on here as well. A lot of pings and a lot of rotations coming in from Talons. They are going to spot out Cuckoo. It is, but they're bringing more heroes in this time. It should be a 1-for-1, though Cuckoo is somehow still running. Chase on from Zhao just to get the kill. Can he get away? The Dragon Slave, it's duped. They don't get him, but he's got no leaps. He should be dead here, Zhao. Tries for the TP, won't make it. Nice little dunk for WS. So 1-for-1 of the supports at the end of the day. And an immediate twin gate. Oh, Jackie, they're twin gating to you, sir.
Oh.
They're running towards old Jackie boy, but WS doesn't see him. Now they do. Ping did come out, but it's too late. He's out of it.
But his smoke right behind him as well.
WS? They're a bit behind in their worth here, John. I'm not sure if this is a smart fight. If WS gets a big call, the fight's over. They got to jump him first, I do believe, but Makoto's right behind him as well. It's not an easy initiation. Unless Makoto... Oh, no. Makoto has been left alone. WS ran the other way. Makoto's completely alone in this, and he's gone. That's unfortunate. That really did feel like a fight. Talon could have turned, but they just had no idea they were coming. And boom, they found a big one.
Yeah, a little bit surprised. The smoke angle right outside of that ward Talon planted earlier. Great angle being found here by the side of Boom. 6-9, very nice scoreline here.
The Savage is okay. They did scout him out with an arrow there, John. I thought maybe they'd go for a chase, but it seems like they're just going to ignore it.
And the tide is a little bit tanky at this point. Again, with the plate mail up, can be a little bit much. WS is just clearing out the creep army, which is actually pretty big. You do have the Dominator or the Overload ready on Jab, so you can just retake a creep. Could try to force this fight here.
Oh. Yeah, Jabs. In a pretty deep. WS waiting. Jump in onto Cuckoo. Cuckoo is getting destroyed pretty quickly, and he is gone as Jabs makes it out, and WS actually never jumped in yet. He's still holding out here, waiting for that right opportunity. Plus, I believe his Blink's getting cancelled over and over again from the ball poison. He can finally jump in now, though, onto Jabs, and Jabs does get him. Never mind, it wasn't that he was being patient. It was that WS couldn't actually blink because the ball was chasing him the whole time.
Yeah. Jabs has been on point again with that micro, even from that laning phase with the Ruin Denies, with poking Makoto. He is a very pesky Beastmaster for sure, as you'd expect from Jabs. But Talon do manage to clean up. A good set of stacks of Code of Blood here for WS. 10 stacks up. Nice bit of armor to play with. And for Talon, I think they can start hunting now. I mean, you are pretty ready.
Another nice call. Another nice call. Tim's trying to save by stunning Makoto, but now Tim's is screwed as well. WS with a double dunk. You love to see that. Even mid lane, they've even done a bit more. Zhao, he's going to get pounced up. He's gone. And now I think Roshan's open.
That it is. You got the output with Makoto. It's not, maybe not the quickest Roshan in the world, but this is very secure with Jokam's position. Look at him just walking forward, checking for wards, making sure that the area is secure. If there's anyone that dies, if it's just a Slark, you don't really care. Rosh will go their way. You've almost got the full axe timing lined up here for Savage, Mikey. And again, that causes more issues for the entire lineup on the side of Boom. Just losing out that creep army is massive. They'll try for a smoke out.
They're coming. They got Jokam down. Jackie takes him out with the God Strength, so now it's a 4v5. Roshan's actually very low on HP as well. So Boom, they could look for a steal attempt. They're going to wrap around instead, hoping for a nice smoke. WS backing off the right moment, could hope for a big blink call here. So they will spot him out here with Tim's, but he's not jumping in yet. Ravage is committed another call. It lands on Jackie and Tim's, but neither are dead yet. They'll keep turning. Who are they looking for? They want Savage and WS at the same time, but they got too greedy. They split up their attention. Can they keep the fight? Makoto's running. He's going to be all right. Everyone else makes it out. Talon now wanting a bit more as the Croaker. Croker stunning up. WS jumping in for a call on to Jabs with a nightmare from Cuckoo, buying a bit of time. WS still trying to survive. Finally goes down, but Jabs will follow. It's another good team fight for Talon. Armel not out of danger yet either. They see him. They see him. Armel to go down. Zhao actually jumps in after an arrow, but he's basically just given over a full team wipe now. He tries to snipe Makoto, and that'll be a full team wipe for Talon. And you know what it goes back to, John? Mid-fight, it was Savage and WS both stunned, and they went separate ways. Jackie went one way, Jabs and Armel went the other, and they missed out on both.
Yeah, I mean, the initiation angle for Boom is also just awkward as well, right? Like, they scout out for the illusions first. That led WS to hold back a little bit more. When they fully commit, the Ravage and the call came in as well. So even if you managed to focus your fire, it was already, you kind of missed out in your burst window. As you can see again, the Ravage instantly out, the call following through. The follow-up from Armel was nice, but you were already kind of torn apart at that point. And look at Savage, this investment onto the Vlads for the carry Tide. That lifesteal from Anchor Smash is massive, especially with a creep army. You have to be a little bit cautious about that with Jabs, dragging all of the creeps towards the Tide. So much regen that can come in. And for Talon, I mean, it's looking sharp, right? Like, they've got this really tanky lineup that I think we've seen the most success for Talon very recently here, including their time in DL26. This is the double tanky core with Mikado to carry that we've seen over and over again, and they clean up fine. On the side of Boom, have to be very cautious about who they commit on. It has to be someone they can kill ASAP. And if you don't manage to find that instant kill, bring the numbers advantage your way. The re-engage from Talon, I mean, this is Ravage you're talking about, this is an Axe with Claw, this is eventually a Slark with Shard as well, as at the least they'll snipe that Shard away, giving it onto Tim's, so you don't have to worry about the freebie here for Jokam anytime soon. But it is getting a little bit complicated. 10 to 18, 5k lead for Talon, not the end of the world for Boom, not in the same way it was for Talon in the last game for sure. Still have a lot of angles to play. They just need to work those angles better. That and maybe wait out Jackie's BKB. That spell, that debuff immunity will do a ton of work. It will force focus out from Cuckoo to maybe have to prioritize that grip onto him instead of Armel, and that can open up the fight a little bit more here for the side of Boom.
The thing is, in the meantime, Makoto's got him just absolutely massive, and you're approaching the point against this Lina where things are going to get ultra scary. Like, that Daedalus comes up and the damage just skyrockets for this hero. They are going to wrap through the twin gates here, Boom Esports. They might try to see if they can snipe him, but he has help around him. Jokam going to see them around. Jabs will leave the creeps behind, take them, he says. Jokam, he knows he's somewhere around here. Jabs getting caught. Talon will punish again. They've just completely shut down this Beastmaster.
It's not one of those games for Jabs right now where you can just go for that fast AC timing, you right click, you pressure towers. They haven't dug into any tier 2s yet. It's been a little bit scattered out from Boom. I'd say if you want to make that move, it has to be almost a 4-man commitment. Just find these kills. You can't afford to just split 2 apart unless you only want to find supports. That can be a little bit easier. And Mikado is also not the squishiest lead in the world. She has some repositioning out with a Hurricane Pike up. Not the easiest, even if your smoke broke on that Luna anyhow, on that gate movement. So maybe a bit optimistic out from Boom. For the side of Talon, again, things are ramping up. Crimson Guard for WS coming out next. Like you mentioned, Mikado is just going crazy now in this Lina. Full Daedalus only about 900 gold away. And once you have that damage up, you've got a good amount of hybrid damage. You can eat right through the Warcry because of that. You can burst down to softer supports in the back. I say soft, one of them is a CK, but even that hasn't been the tankiest yet here for Tims. It is still fairly fat, at the least. Savage can just put his body forward with no concern, which is really what we've been seeing from Savage. It feels like this is what's working for him right now. You think about how he was positioning himself in the last game as well. Something like this Tide does fit in a lot better with him just running forward, hoping his team backs him up. Let's see if they can maintain that as Talon do finally start to clear some tier 2s. Boom. Again, it's just waiting out. BKB's done now on Jackie. That's 1 tool up. Maybe you can catch Talon off guard with that one here.
They're trying. They're moving in. Talon, though, they were the ones to move in first. Call. No, it's not going to come out. He cancels. Oh, stun, though. Jackie, don't kill yourself. Oh, he pops the BKB in time. Oh, that blade mail on WS, Joe. You see how close he got? I think he was one right click away from dying to the blade mail damage.
Yep. He was. And really nice set of kills for Boom, though. But now, without the roll, maybe Talon can consider something. The roar is still there. Boom aren't going to be staying around the area for too long. So a nice hitting line. And that's what you need here from Boom. Punish Talon when they're getting a little bit too clumped up. Again, Jackie has been spectacular on the Sven last game and this game as well, finding these opportunities when they're stuck in tight spots where you can really work that cleave. And for Talon, you have to be cautious. That's a huge amount of gold to bleed out to Jackie and Armel. You do still have the Aegis for a little bit longer, at least here on Mikado. There's about a minute left, so it should be another tier 2 at least. Would you, again, you have to be concerned about bleeding lead out. When it comes to direct scaling, yeah, your odds are a little bit, are better than game 1 here for Talon, but it isn't like an overwhelmingly better late game for Talon either. You again, cannot afford to lose out and drag game too long here, I'd say, as we're at the 26-minute mark. BKB up, tier 2 down bot, under right-click siege from Mikado. Moonlight Shadow flank up top, though.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Where are they going? They're maybe hunting WS, just seeing who's in the area.
Out of sentry spots him.
Certainly does. Nothing to come here for Boom. But for Talon, you get plenty of information as to where they are, what they're up to here on Boom Esports. It's like another game where you're just so reliant for Boom on Jackie here. Like you just look at the game of Jabs and Armel right now. It's just non-existent. It's just all the Jackie show at this point if you're Boom Esports. Whereas Talon, like every other core, is still having a great old time. You know, we really haven't seen the impact of Savage yet either. Like, he's just been farming for a straight 27 minutes. Like, he's coming soon. He's going to get involved rather. In fact, he'll get involved right now to slowly inch his way over to Tim's on the CK. Gold strength popped though. They're going to try and burst down Cuckoo, and Jackie's got him. One important target down. Cuckoo no buyback is now Savage. Has he gone too far? He has Ravage available. He doesn't really want to have to pop it for nothing, but he might just have to because he's trapped up, and he won't. He'll just die. He will just die as Talon. What exactly was the game plan? Now I'm wondering.
I don't know.
Because they threw Savage in very confidently with Cuckoo. So I was like, well, hold on, are they just farming here? Like, what was the game plan?
I don't know. Like, you needed WS to be around. Mikado wasn't quite around either. It's, again, a little bit of a disconnect. We've seen this before, though, if you recall. The Nemesis series. Good old Savage and Cuckoo, this connection. Kind of finding themselves dying for whatever reason. Does, again, bleed free gold to women. This, you really can't afford to do that. Like, legitimately, you still hold the 4K lead. Yes, that's all fine and dandy. Yes, your scaling's better than game 1, but do you really want to take it ultra, take it longer than you have to up against the Sven that Jackie has performed on really well, up against the debuff immunity Pierce and the Roar, up against Armel, who can disrupt your backline really well. Like, the same tools from game 1 are still there. For the side of Talon, you have to respect that. The data list for Mikado, again, is being worked on. Not too far off now, as he did go back for the BKB. Amp damage rune down as well. You have some output here. It does feel like Talon's just waiting for the next Roshan. They're not really going for anything. Outer towers are gone, to be fair. They're not looking to hunt down, get a kill first. Again, it's giving a lot of room for Boom to feel comfy in this game. The lead has not grown. It's not shrank, but it's also not growing, which is concerning for Talon, of course. Boom always have angles to take with the Moonlight Shadow. Again, they have a lot of utility with a lot of debuff immunity Pierce with jabs. Talon just... I know they're playing the game correctly. It's not wrong by any means, but it certainly isn't the comfiest when the game starts to get closer and closer. Especially as, again, you get that constant build-up. Ag's done for Armel. More damage output out. The defusal actually kind of ruins Savage's game. He's very reliant on Anchor Smash to stay alive without Vlad's. So just a swash and shield crash during in the middle of a fight just drains all of your mana. Not going to be a great feeling there, so they will again smoke and go hunting on Boom.
Bought that Daedalus. I mean, Makoto is massive. Amp damage on top here for the Lena, John. With the new Daedalus up, he's going to be hitting like a truck on this Lena if a fight breaks out. Talon would really like a fight right now.
Oh, Savage.
Before the amp damage expires.
Savage.
Savage? Okay, he's very far forward. His team is coming. They're coming, John, but they're still far away. But Savage will not get jumped. I think this time maybe they consider him too tanky. They'll leave him. It's a bit too spooky. Amp damage at least will wear off from Makoto very soon. So sadly for Talon, they miss out on that opportunity. But still well and truly in control of this game is Flipster Talon. There's no two ways about that yet. Blink now up on Jabs could put a spanner in the works though, because if they can get in to just rule Makoto and just delete him before the fight, then I think that the fight's just like Savage isn't carrying the fight right now as it's tied. No. Maybe when he hits 25, but not right now.
No, certainly not. It's going to take a lot more time. I think the key thing for Talon is just use Savage as the body. He's the only one that chose in the map, so I think that's their idea. Have Savage be the target. Another smoke out from the side of Boom. A really good line being drawn into the position of Savage. The heroes are nearby. They are camping for Roche. This could be big for Boom if, again, they find the right targets to go for. If you can find that back line of Mikado, but Savage will be the one to break it in this position if you do run into him.
Okay, Cam. Gonna get jumped. Gets a very quick shadow dance off. Duels up onto Jackie. They've got the Sven locked down. Jackie, though, he's gonna go for the man fight with the BKB, but he can't handle it. He can't handle it. They'll take him down. They've even found Armel, though Armel rolling away for now as the Ravage will fly through. Looks like Jabs and Armel still trying to salvage the fight, but it looks pretty over to me. They might just need a retreat. They will take down Cuckoo, but they'll lose Jao. WS still being chased by Jabs. Cue the Benny Hill music here for Jabs. So he will try to run. Somehow WS is kiting him out over and over again. Now going in for the call. Dunks him as well. Massive fight again for Talon. And that means, Jonathan, Talon will continue maintaining control. And they'll have first dibs over next Roshan.
That they will. A little bit awkward out from Boom. We didn't see the Moonlight Shadow kick in either. Unfortunate that, again, you're playing into Slark. All Jokam had to do was run up for the Tide Hunter to back him up. And that's the idea from Talon. Use these tools as pawns that you're sacrificing to set up for the openings here, to allow that angle from Mikado, from WS, to actually do the work. And it's a little bit of a rough time for Jackie. He does so much damage, but the Blade Mail is certainly melting him, and that Daedalus on Mikado as well. The mixed damage is certainly a lot better for Talon in this game than what we were seeing in the last. The solutions are there for this Ven. That Roshan is spawned up now. Shouldn't take Talon too long. There is still an opportunity here, though. They know Ravage is down on the side of Boom. They know that there is no way that Talon can fully take control of that team fight without the Ravage. So you could try to force an issue here. Jokam?
Roshan's so low. Surely they don't get there in time, and they won't. Roshan is down. Banner is on the deck, but they've got the Aegis on Makoto, and that's all that really matters right now for Talon. Boom is still posturing. They're still thinking about trying to get a fight going, but they think better of it. But get the hell out of there. So Makoto now Aegis up. He even just bought out the boot to travel too, so his mobility is kind of through the roof at the moment. And, well, if you're Boom, your back's against the wall. Looks like Jackie is going to find Jokam down south. So freebie on the Slark. But once again, I mean, unless they can find a way to kill Makoto in these fights, things are proving to be kind of impossible right now. They are hunting Armel top, but he will be able to avoid the blink of WS. And even if you find Makoto in the middle of a fight, like you've still got Cuckoo to be worried about with the Fiend's Grip, WS with the reinitiation with the call, Savage with the Ravage. Yeah, there's a lot of things, John.
There is. It's a lot more complicated for Boom for sure. There's a lot of pressure on Jabs to nail it here.
He was going to go farm that large cap next to Savage, but he decides better off it. So he saw Savage farming the creep wave.
Yeah.
Very, very spooky right now.
That it is. Just have to Watch yourself. Again, as this game scales on, it is, again, a fine game to scale up on for Boom. The issue is you're not really getting as much farm as you'd want, perhaps. Say on the support CK. You didn't really manage to get those pickoffs with your Marauder early on. So your scaling now is kind of stuck mainly on Jackie, who has been top net worth for your team for quite a while. There's a BKB coming out for Jabs, which, again, helps out quite a fair bit. You've got the Nullifier of Armel to at least take care of some of the Ghost Scepters and Yules here to ensure that some kills will be found. See if they can start hunting. Moonlight Shadow out. Could be a good angle. WS, pretty big hero if you can burst him down here.
Right, Jackie, he's gonna sneak by. Cuckoo will get spotted. WS is waiting. Nice call out from the Axe as well, trying to protect his Bane, but here comes the cavalry. Jackie, though, dropping too low, trying to run away. He already popped the Mask of Madness as well. He needs to get out, but no, Makoto's got him. It's just too much attack range on this leader. Too much attack range, too much damage. So they kill Cuckoo, but they'll lose Jackie another time. Dunk out from WS. And Talon, it's starting to feel like they've got this game too in the bag, John. I can't see them losing at this point. This lean is too much. Savage has hit his timings. WS has been a real problem the whole game. And just no matter how much net worth you acquire on Jackie, it's just not translating to kills.
No, it certainly isn't. Not yet. Again, not the ideal angle you'd want to initiate. They were so close to just finding themselves WS instead on that initiation, but again, not the key target you're looking for on that Bane. It has to be one of these big cores. Ideally, the Lina. Even if you catch Makoto out, though, with 2 lives, I'm not sure if you have enough to kill him. And now he has a Satanic as well to back him up. Even more sustain as Savage barely TPs before the Aethers comes in. He will be quite happy to head back. But again, we're also just approaching that mark for Talon, where level 25 starts to become a reality. Tide Hunter with his 25 is quite dumb as a right clicker, and you've got the Assault Gears to back that up. So there is a lot that you can play for there. Jabs.
Jabs? Uh-oh. Oh, no. Yeah, I mean, Makoto, again, completely out of control. Jabs trying to do his best here, but the Beastmaster game has indeed failed this time around. Mid-Rax, Savage, he's looked like he grew a few feet here, John. This is what 6 foot looks like. 23 Savage. Above the tier 3 tower.
Yeah, I'm surprised. He should have gone for the Anchor Smash effects of buildings. So that siege would be so much faster. Just no prep in the creeps. I suppose with a Roche banner up, you don't care. So there is that. Siege is going quite fast anyhow. Like, this guy's just so damn tanky. Double plate mail build up. So they will jump in.
They're gonna try Fiend's Grip right onto Armel. They will cancel that Fiend's Grip. Meanwhile, Savage is being targeted, but he'll get the Ravage out. And he's still pretty healthy. All things being said and done, he's just gonna casually walk out of there. Jump in again from Tim's with the Rift onto Makoto, but Makoto's just standing. Look at the damage. Look at the damage. It's like 900 per crit. And he's just critting over and over again here from Makoto. They're going to jump in. Here comes Jackie. One last ditch attempt to try and kill this man off. Arrow will land. Surely they've got the kill. Jackie will move in again. Makoto's still perfectly fine. They will wait out the Aegis. It's gone now, but Jackie's got no BKB time left and it's all over. It did look pretty weird when he was standing there, but like you said, John, the Aegis was expiring and Jackie was waiting. That was the only play they had. It's GG. Talon game 2. And thankfully for us, John, we don't get no boring 2-0. We get at least Ember, but it's not going to be like the Lena last game. Like,
no.
This Tiny is going to have to pull his weight, plus more.
He is. I think, again, it really just comes down to lanes and how much you get out of them. Because if you start losing out in lane, this Razor doesn't take too long to be online. They're in a good position as well to just ensure Jokam doesn't get too sneaky out here. It will just block them off from chasing for a rune. They will actually go for a late smoke. So a nice clump up. Jokam again in position to break though.
30 seconds.
Jokam's been doing a very good job on this this pos 4 Slark throughout the last game, and I'm sure this game as well he'll be very impactful. Talon looking to try and sneak their way up into a first blood. They do have high ground vision, but they don't see anything yet. Smokes will wear off. Zhao is going to reveal himself. Did they see Joe Cam? I think they will now. Joe Cam going to show himself. Zhao looking to maybe go back in. Plasma field is going to be up from Jackie, slowing them down into the shackles onto WS, though WS still able to walk away. In fact, Zhao's the one still in danger here. He's barely going to make it out. Everyone will survive. No first blood to be drawn. Happy days for both sides. Nobody dying yet. Though we might still see first blood because Tim's is rotating to try for first blood down bottom. See if he wants to try for it with the shackle.
You don't quite have your early static link, but level 1's kind of meh. Anyhow, plasma field set up for a long range damage from the Razor could be quite nice. Again, Jocam's just being a pest. Along with WS, and they've got the board. They see Tim's down here. They know something's up. They're going to be fine to just run away. The mid lane matchup, again, is where some of these dynamics kick in for Mikado and Armel. We are already seeing the early Flame Guard up. So I'm expecting now just a 1-1-3 build for Mikado to just hold his own against Quap, which can work. Like, it is something that your shield should be able to sustain up against for the most part. There's still some decent damage that flies in, of course. Armel, for his part, is going for good old masochist Quap. So it's not bondage Quap. He's expecting that into the matchup. He can't just play with Scream of Pain. That's a little bit trickier for Mikado to try to manage with the Flame Guard. So I like this from Armel, switching that facet around. Rune control is very big for this matchup. I'm wondering if Mikado will kind of divert then into a standard Sleight of Fist build. You don't have double impact though, so it doesn't feel as important to have the max out Sleight of Fist. Maybe you can go for a 2-1-2 build, perhaps, for some presence later on tier 6. But again, even with the Flame Guard up, once it's gone, Armel just has free room to run down, get some good right clicks on. And Mikado is just going to be stuck at a very awkward time until his bottle comes in. And we'll need really good rune control here. We'll see if he has a clean shot at, say, the 2-minute rune. So we're already seeing some movement across the supports. Getting the pulls out from Jocam. Zhao trying to contest down bot. All you can do here on the Slark, but it does go without a hitch. So you'll be able to soak up some EXP. The lane for Jackie, though, is very... Like we were talking about in draft, Razor into the Beastmaster is really fun for Razor. You just clear out the creeps with Plasma Field, get some good poke. You threaten with Static Link with the net combo down the line from Zhao. And there's really not much play here for Talon outside of just farming. So gonna be a more passive lane for Talon, which Jackie will enjoy. Having his own aggressive angles to play with himself. We'll see if that starts to pan out once you get the levels up in Zhao. It will take a little bit longer for End Snare to be relevant.
Absolutely. Top lane, you do have Savage and Cuckoo. Tim's looking to maybe connect. Doesn't end up going for any kind of shackle here onto Savage. Because he does have jabs, and there's the shackle finally coming up. They are going to try here for the Tiny. Swashbuckle is also available. Jab's just holding out for the last second. Still going. Oh, and he doesn't quite, but Tim's does have the Ether Shot. Nice first blood secure here for the side of Boom Esports.
There's not much you can really do on Talon for that. You've got a Warlock playing support in that lane. All you can do is maybe drop a Shadow Word, hope for the best. That aggression starting to line up from Boom early. And again, this is the lane I expect it to be slower, more even across both sides. And Boom are finding a way to play aggressive. That is their full salvo of mana though, but you do have an 8-charge stick. So it's not too bad for jabs. And you should start to, again, find a little bit more. Slow this Tiny down. Savage, bottom right now, barely finding some CS, right above WS, who's having an even worse time on Beastmaster. Again, compare that to Jackie already, just free farming bot. Doesn't set a good tone here for a Tiny in a matchup that doesn't feel great anyhow for this hero.
No, it does not. Which is why I was saying Makoto can still carry on Ember John. So Armel was doing a fantastic job of harassing him constantly. His bottom lane, WS is going to go down. Jackie able to secure a kill for himself, which, in fairness, you've been saying it, John. It's to be expected, though. Mid lane, Makoto looks like he was expecting the rotation from Tim's this time on the Shaman. Issue for Makoto, though. He is really being suffocated in this mid lane, John. Like, no water runes being provided, no support rotations, nothing. They've left him in the Sahara.
That they have. I mean, again, it's down to the supports you have. A rotation out from Warlock doesn't do much. A rotation out from the Slark, perhaps, but the lanes are also too rough for you to leave these side lanes alone. So you just kind of have to cop it. Again, a 2k lead early for Boom with this kind of lineup is overwhelming, actually, because Talon are the ones that kind of want to play a little bit quicker, especially on that Ember. Level 6 timing for Mikado stalled out now. You've got level 5 already up on RML, halfway to that 6. So the threat of Sonic Wave is materializing here for Mikado, who was forced to get a raindrop just to, again, survive through this lane. And does go for the 1-1-2 build, so it's looking like maybe a 2-1-2 perhaps.
Oh, they use the nighttime at their advantage. Makoto still okay, but he's stuck at level 5. Thankfully for him, Armel also still level 5. Doesn't have the Sonic Wave yet, but he is much closer to hitting that level 6 in the Quap than, say, Makoto is now on the Ember. Thankfully for Makoto, though, Cuckoo gonna kind of give him the heal. Let him reset a little bit on the Ember, and he's gonna be just fine. But it is certainly a one lane here by Armel on the Quap. Though I wouldn't say it's too one-sided in fairness to Makoto. He's still found plenty of CS and XP. Not that far behind. Spot him. They'll try to move on to WS, who needs a bit of help here from Joe Cam, but Joe Cam's playing Slark. He actually just runs the other way. He knows he can't really save WS. WS has to save himself, and it's not happening. Jackie to pick up a secondary kill now onto the Beastmaster.
Again, for the side of Boom, just having these small wins, having this slower off lane for WS, we're talking about where the tempo has to come in. The Beastmaster or the early Dominator, Overlord, is really key to finding some space on this map. The fact that WS is just kind of being fed away towards Jackie is of huge concern for Talon. He's bottom leftward core right now on that Beastmaster. He's going to need a recovery. You do have some stacks in the triangle at the very least, so there's some farm to play for, but not too much. Amp damage rune on Mikado does help, but they are making moves top now.
Cuckoo is healing low, and the shield crash jabs off the mark, way off the mark, in fact. And he's gonna die for it. He jumped right into the tier 1. No damage was applied to Cuckoo at all. And a little bit of an awkward error now, handing a free kill over to the side of Talon.
And you're going to be happy about that freebie. Still a lot of room out for Boom. Look at this movement across bot. Look at this movement into the Shrine of Wisdom. Talon can't really reach out to that opposite shrine as well. So early levels coming out for the sports again. Gonna feel good for Zhao and Tims to start to get a big boost towards their level 6. And for Talon, I mean, it just gets, again, worrisome. That loss on Jabs Hansi is probably not the biggest thing in the world. Jabs is still doing better than WS anyhow. So you're not gaining enough on Talon to overtake. Savage is getting that ramp up on that Tiny at the least. Like this Echo Saber build-up shouldn't be too bad into the Sanjin Yasha, and then you can start to play. You have taken attention away from Mikado, so the Ember is actually allowed to get some semblance of a lane to play. But his own progression here from Mikado is quite slow. So I'm not sure when we'd start to see him rotate on the chain gang. It does feel like he will want to connect. Issue is, your launching point for WS isn't up. You could try with Savage, but trying to kill off a Pango early is also stressful unless Jabs overextends again into like a tier 1 tower, which I doubt Jabs would be keen on trying to get too far again anytime soon.
Now, it's certainly a disastrous start right now for Talon, all things being said and done after this laning stage. Bottom tier 1 tower already gone. The only core in the top 3 net worth right now from Talon is Savage on that Tiny, and that man's going to take a while to be ready to go, as we've seen multiple times. Mind you, again, it is Talon. John, this is the team that always find a way to make a comeback, so not too concerning. It's just laning stage. You got a 2k advantage for Boom, but, you know, nothing too crazy yet. It is a little bit intimidating because you got the Quap Razor for sure, but for now, I think Talon are perfectly fine. See if they do hand over that catch-up farm for WS as well, because he really does need it. He's got nothing on this poor Beastmaster. With no stacks either. As Makoto gets caught mid, immediate death. Tim's with a fantastic shackles. The chase continues on to Joe Cam, but don't leave him go. They don't care for the support Slark. No need to risk it. There's a mid-tier 1 tower they can focus down, and that's exactly where they'll go.
A little bit interesting, Mikado wanted to try to make that solo play. There's some good vision being set up again outside of the sentries here from Boom. At the least, again, it's space. You're buying space for WS, who, again, because the movement's onto mid, Beastmaster's not being contested, the Dominator's up for WS, so there's a little bit of play now on the Beastmaster, not much yet. Certainly a little bit better than earlier on. And you have all the farm in the world here for Savage. Still slow going. Echo Saber has to come up soon. And it is still 2 parts away, or at the very least 1 part away now. But that emphasis on mid, again, they have a good read here on Boom. They know what the win condition is. They know what carries Talon through mid game. It's Mikado, and he's not really having too much impact just yet.
Does he get lucky? No, he doesn't. Haystrom going to be there for Armel. Yeah, I mean, this is the one thing, right? Like, I always say, like, if you're going to sack anyone from Talon, don't let it be Mikado. Like, for the love of God, don't let it be Mikado that gets his game sacked. So he's just carried that many games for this team. Like, you never want to see him falling behind. You know?
Yeah.
Because there's always a chance with this young man. It's still fine, though, John. Still early game. Still 10.5 minutes in.
Yeah.
4-1.
10.5.
No, nothing's happened yet.
Golem? Bot?
Bottom lane. Golem drop. Nice song here from Zhao, and oh, here come the TPs.
Oh, that's nasty.
2 supports. More than happy to take these away. WS, though, is looking to join as they kill Joe Cam. They'll kill Cuckoo. And WS, he's actually going to roar out, trying to snipe Armel. Might have him, and he does. He does.
More?
In fact, he's going after Zhao as well with the micro, and it looks like he might just have him, though. No. He'll miss out in a second. But that's a huge kill for WS. Huge.
Well, it is. You take that. I mean, it's still an even net worth trade, considering you dropped 2 for 1 and you dropped the entire army plus the chaotic offering golem. So it's a pretty big loss for Talon net worth wise. But you find some solo EXP for WS, you find a solo kill that accelerates this timing on a little bit less ideal timing on that Helm of the Overlord. It's certainly set to come out faster because of that. So you're happy enough on the side of Talon. 6-2, 3K lead still stands for Boom. And they set their eyes up top now. Savage has not been having the best of times. Again, he's been top net for his team, but he's also been highly pressured. Look at the vision out from Boom. That early ward to watch out moving from Savage into the jungle. They're going to use that to snipe him later on as well. Gives him the confidence for that siege. And Talon just, again, have to seed ground. Have to give space away. Just hope for the best that Mikado starts to find something here. And kind of hang on.
Yeah, he's going the Blade Mail route as well, which is fairly standard for Embers, especially against the Quap Masochist, the Quap Masochist route. Also, you tend to go Blade Mail just to be able to catch up here. And Mikado again, doing his absolute best here in this game 3. Talon, they're playing the comeback game right now. Even WS just hanging around in the dire triangle. Now, this is the interesting kind of conundrum for Boom, right? Like, do you keep playing the farm game yourself, or do you want to play faster? Because right now, they've got a 4K net worth lead and they can continue to sustain that. But you run the risk of letting Talon get to a stage where they can finally kind of contest you.
I'd say you're happy farming, honestly, on Boom. Like, the build-up in Razor is not to be underestimated. It is the Thunderhead facet with Mjolnir build-up that we've been seeing a lot, and it has been highly effective in terms of how well you can just take these team fights. Talon are constrained to waiting for Chaotic Offering, which is coming off cooldown now. Cuckoo is set with a smoke on Mikado. So they can try to play off of that. I think the interesting combo is Fatal Bonds with all these chains coming out from Mikado. Can do quite a fair bit of damage if they find the right clump up. Fortunately, Boom does read that movement well. It's hanging by the gate.
They were going through, but Jackie does cancel. So it looks like they are going to set up for perhaps a defense attempt. There's a lot of heroes, though, from Talon. This could be an awkward situation for Jackie. He'll move in. Looks like Talon, they're not feeling confident to dive the tier 1 anyway. They will retreat. It is fair. The Razor, highest net worth on the board right now. Very intimidating to have to go up against is Armel. Mid lane will get chained up. He made a pretty aggressive blink in. But he's going to be just fine as they don't have the follow-up lockdown. Looking for power runes. And once again, Mikado, he's going to get rather lucky. Yeah, one thing for Mikado this game is, John, he has found most power runes, and it has been by pure RNG. So yeah. Gabe is smiling upon it.
That he is.
Savage?
And that's important for him to even just maintain here.
Oh, Savage! Oh, no. No. He tried for the TP, John. I mean, in fairness, there wasn't many other ways out. He was inhibited by the Diffusal Blade of Jab, so I don't think he would have made it running anyway.
No.
It's a good try.
And do what you can. Again, for the side of Talon, all you have to do is just give these bodies out. Ideally, you don't want to bleed your cores, of course, but you don't really have an option. So long as Boom aren't finding objectives yet off of this, or more kills, like 2 and a jump, then you're happy enough to try to get that build up. 5k lead now, 15 minutes out. Only so much you can do, Chocam. Jeez. It's a lot of damage.
Such a tough
coming up from jabs.
for Talon. Oh, absolutely. It's a classic diffusal blade timing for the Pango. His damage just goes right through the ceiling. Through the roof. You know, I wonder how concerned Talon are getting about Jackie here, John.
Yeah, they have to be pretty concerned about that Mjolnir. They know the timings here. Hyperstone already up. I believe the full Mjolnir might actually be set here for Jackie, and it is flying in right now on the courier. So, major spike now for the Razor. Trying to fight into this with Eye of the Storm active is going to be brutal with that static charge as well. But the Dominator or the Overlord is here from WS. So you have more presence out. They can finally commit for that siege on bot.
Kodo, I mean, he's gonna see Jackie. This is the target I don't think you can control right now. Unless you have all 5. Maybe they do. Are they bringing in all 5 heroes? They are. Savage is coming. Jackie almost kills himself to the blade mail of Makoto. The song from Jaldo will hold them all down, but they need to get the hell out of there. And they will. Very nice disengage, but they are kind of giving up that bottom tier 1. Not the biggest deal. And there you go. Jackie learned. I can't static link the Makoto Ember. He's got blade mail. It really hurts.
And it does. Getting some good output on Jackie, but great target identification out from Makoto. A little bit of a shame they couldn't get follow-through control. With that chase, he was the one cutting through the back. No one else could really follow through. They do translate that into a siege on mid with wards down from Tim's. So they'll be able to trade out an objective at the very least. Fortify is really forced out.
Oh, Makoto sticks around. He was not anticipating jabs, but he's still alive. He's actually going to make it. What? Oh? They toss him away. He's made it out. Tim's and Zhao to go down. Jab's in trouble. Zhao's going to drop perhaps. What?
Okay. That's kind of nuts. He has a raindrop. Still has 1 on it. I think that little bit of block coming in from some of the magic damage actually legitimately saved his life. From
Where's the replay? I gotta say, where's the replay? How did he survive that? Hex, Shackle, Rolling Thunder, Sonic Wave. They didn't hesitate at the end. True. Okay, maybe that was the deciding factor. Maybe that was actually enough.
Yeah, just a little bit of healing, a little bit of block. Yeah, some wand charges right as that came in, and a few charges left in Fused Raindrop. Just enough durability for the maxed out Flame Guard to eat through some of that damage. But you are playing on edge.
Here we go.
Mind you, that's without Jackie in. And they get the catch. He still has Flame Guard running. He does have 10 stick charges. He pops with the Raindrop as well. And, you know, just a little bit of healing from the Shadow Word. Just enough. I don't know if that's fully calculated for Mikado, but that's playing on edge.
That's crazy. Oh, Savage, though. I mean, Savage is off the edge here, John. Savage, neutral kill at least. I'm telling you, Gavin smiling upon Talon this game for whatever reason. His cuckoo hand, he's carried the tip. Well done, Savage, he says. First right thing you did all series. Well done.
Oh, he wastes some time. That's a 4-man clump up bot. Jocam's still scouting them out, though. But he is keeping track, at the very least, ensuring that that farm is flowing for the side of Talon elsewhere. And it is. Full drums up for WS. A threat onto the top tower push, which doesn't take too long. With that Ancient Black Dragon on hand. They are getting gate swing out, though. This could be a nice flank into Talon, but this is an awkward pause.
I hate these pauses. Okay, they're all disconnected. Maybe this time there's a good reason. I take it back. There you go. There's the 923. He loves it. He loves it.
And he does. Looks like, if I had to guess, this is a network switch for the side of Talon. So, switching connections. See if that sorts things out. I'm not sure. Yeah, I think they have that and another. I'm not sure which one. Both equally, you know, it is what it is in the Philippines.
It's just been a while since I've shouted them out, John. That's all.
Yeah, I miss IndieHome as well. I really miss calling out IndieHome. And the Packet Phoenix. Those were the days. That's also when we had Indo Boom as well. Those are the good old
Yes.
days.
The ever the bridesmaid, I remember, is what I was calling them back then. They just could not come first in any BTS tournament. Not once.
No. I think they
Always
eventually
second.
did one time.
One
They did
time.
one time, I think. Yeah, one time,
time.
Mikey. One time.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
They dodged the smoke as well.
Bottom tower is under attack.
That's
They do.
pretty convenient for Talon, considering that we've seen these fights in this area be very awkward. If you are caught with that long flank smoke. Good attempt from Boom. Talon are on top. 1k advantage still left for Boom. Not a lot to play with, but certainly not an unplayable game. Again, they've got this tempo lined up. You've got Jackie farming up a Storm. BKB coming up next for our Razor with that full Mjolnir. So if he can stand and fight in Static Link and not get a Reflect damaged on, he is pretty happy. And the issue is finding a good Static Link target, because you go onto Savage, he has the toss back. You go onto WS, he has the Roar to run. He might not even care. So there are options somewhat here for Talon to kind of try to break free of that. And let's see. Has been a very cautious game from both sides to an extent. Here's another smoke out from Zhao, perhaps looking to break that monotony up a bit. There's going to be a big timing to fight over shards here as well, because that 20-minute Tormentor is actually big for both sides. A free shard for Zhao is massive, a free shard for Jokam is absolutely game-changing as well. And you do have advantage here for Boom. They've shoved in top, Jackie's in the area to go into Tormentor. Talon might be keen on fighting in. They do have Golem back up. Again, they've got the drums and Overlord up on WS. They're going to try to run in. Huh? They're not? Okay. I guess Boom don't want to force a Tormentor either.
Apparently not. Talon? They'll take it. No problems here. Notice Makoto's got another great rune for himself. Amp damage here for the Ember. I don't know how he keeps getting all these great runes after a abysmal laning stage, but he just keeps getting them.
Yeah. And you win the coin flip. Depth Shroud up for Jokam. So the impact of the slug will be felt now in these team fights. That's a big turning point for Talon. I mean, they have some saves. They could try to force a fight.
Not yet, though. Well, do they? Smoke is out. Tim's is in position to break the smoke and does onto WS. And they immediately look to just get the hell out of there. But Tim's is going to have to get left behind here. Makoto will catch him. So another freebie by... Oh, I say freebie. It's not free yet. But they will get him eventually. So another one for Talon. Which is very interesting, because now Jackie has the full BKB, so that might be cue for him to start fighting with his team. And I think they might have no choice, because Roshan's happened. This is a big loss for Boom, considering the start they had.
It is. I love how Jokam's positioning, just cutting off the ramp area, ensuring that he'll always know when you start to come in, and they're still ready with Golem here.
Oh, the bait. Oh, the Rolling Thunder is there to try and help out, but Armel got baited. It was too hard of a bait. Makoto will take down the Quap. They're still going to move on to Savage, though. Savage in massive trouble. Jackie taking him down. The Depth Shroud, it'll buy a bit of time, though. Savage still alive, but Jackie's just too much. WS down. There goes Savage. Jackie getting all the tips, as he should. Armel, it was a horrible start there for Boomjon. Armel got baited by the Slark. Props to Jokam for that bait. But Talon, they're not at a stage where they can contest Jackie.
No. And we were talking about off this farm on Jackie, how strong he is with that BKB Mjolnir. This is the initial power spike for the Razor. And there's still a lot of power spikes left for this hero. Later on, the big one, of course, is something like a refresh. And he had the freest angle to get a free Static Link off onto Savage. Like, Savage runs right in, trying to get the avalanche toss. Jackie just runs up. Static Links, good stun coming in from Jabs to ensure that Savage can't break that. And you've sapped enough. Like, Depth Shroud doesn't cut that off. It just keeps going as well. So you're not cutting any damage away from Jackie. And they went up massively. Lead back the way of Boom. 10-7. Double digits finally being achieved in this game. So they take a 2k advantage on top. And for Talon, they're not out of the game yet, again, they have ways of scaling. This BKB for Savage is going to be nice. Doesn't quite save you from the static link. It does feel like you'd want some force stabs here on your supports. Just try to get a way to break the static link yourself, because that is your main concern. That's how Jackie sustains himself in the middle. Outside, of course, just having Eye of the Storm and Storm Surge constantly proccing. Like that right click is your major threat.
We'll retreat. This is reminding me a little bit of that game one, John. Like Jackie's net worth, it's climbing a little bit too quick. 24 minutes in, 15k. He's in the element again. Talon, I mean, you'd love to go kill him a couple times to get him out of this pace. It's not as easy said than done, though. This top lane, bit of a group up. Makoto's having a gander, and we'll run into Tim's. Jokam going to be there as well, but Boom are bringing all the numbers to boot. They want to fight. WS, he already committed his roar onto Jabs to stop the Rolling Thunder, but Jabs, of course, is just going to keep going, looking for some stragglers here, and he's found him. He has at least got the Beastmaster, but they can't lock him down. They've got to be a little bit careful for Makoto, though, as well. So Makoto is a bit of a scary man on the Ember, especially with these Fatal Bonds out. Jokam will purge off the ensnare. He'll run away. And Talon looks like they might get everyone but Jokam out of it, which is really not too big of a deal. They'll lose Jokam. They got Tim's anyway. It's pretty much an even trade here for Talon. In fact, it might even be considered better.
Yeah.
And so nothing really of value lost.
Yeah, it's slightly better for Boom, considering how much farm is on Jokam specifically. He is right behind Mikado in farm, highest farmed support in the game by a pretty big margin, around 2k. So very meaningful for Boom to find that freebie. They don't really lose anything either. Right, they still have Aegis for 2.5 minutes here for Jackie. Do need to start pressuring on tier 2s perhaps. They're still keeping track of Mikado as well. Trying to be a nuisance to December. Mikado is fairly slippery, so not really the easiest one to spot. A little bit of a smoke out from Boom though. Maybe Talon get caught off guard. They're hugging their tier 2.
This is the highest net worth hero on Talon. WS, it's so important he doesn't get caught. He's kind of the saving grace right now for Talon after a horrific laning stage. WS able to catch up in the net worth department and is now giving his team a fighting chance back. So much pressure this game. I mean, you're in a best of one to qualify to TI. Mid lane slowly being forced in. Talon just playing the avoid game. It's pretty much what they have to do for now, because again, this Razor is a bit too big with this Aegis up. They'll drop the Surf towards mid lane though. Boom, don't want to leave here empty-handed. They have been committing a lot of time trying to pursue these fights against Talon. And that time has allowed WS and Savage now to be on somewhat parity with farm. And they do at least get the mid-tier 2 tower. That should be about it here for Boom. They're not going any further than that.
No.
But you can tell they really want to fight.
That they do. I mean, they've got the blink up in Zhao, so some big saves can come in now with the song. That's going to catch Talon off guard if they're not too careful coming in here.
I mean, they're the ones trying to move in. They saw Tim's. They love going after that Shaman first. Tim's, he will get a Hex off Makoto. He's in trouble. They will save the Ember for now, but can they keep him alive for long? It looks like he'll remnant out. Jokam is alive for now, but the chase continues. The Savage does actually deal with Zhao. Jokam's running out of there just fine, and well, Talon, they get away with it. 2 supports for nothing.
That was a little bit costly from Talon, so that's Chaotic offering down. I think that's one big tool as well that you rely on here for Talon. Jackie didn't pop BKB and Static Link. Couldn't find the angle onto Savage this time, so the spacing is just right in Talon. It's a very even game, so the Aegis does expire. This timing could be good for Talon if they find that chain control. But with the Manta plus the BKB for Jackie, finding that it's not going to be easy. And again, you didn't quite have the blink on John Yuel just yet. Was on the courier. So he has that up now. A blink song save can also just make this very awkward for Talon. Have to be so cautious in how to take these team fights. Both sides have some pretty good setup for a 5v5. Both sides are kind of constrained by cooldowns, maybe a little bit less so on Boom, with Rolling Thunder on hand, being fairly low metal here for the side of Boom Esports. For Talon, the moment you drop Chaotic Offering, you're out of the picture for like a good 2 minutes 40. Like that is somewhat your bread and butter in getting these turnaround plays from Cuckoo. And it's just such a long cooldown. So you're never going to feel too good trying to force another big fight. You have to go back, reset, use that space to farm. And Boom are just farming well. Jackie working onto the Satanic. They'll smoke up. They don't have anything to wait for themselves. Can try to take this position top. Savage would be very juicy once more.
He would be, but he's been very, very hard to catch.
Dire's top
Everyone on
tower is
Talon
under attack.
proving to be very, very evasive this game 3. They see Joe Cam again on the Slark. Joe Cam, though, he's a slippery, slippery man. And it's just not worth the time chasing down this pos 4 Slark. We've seen it over and over again. It's just worth really no gold. And just the amount of time it takes to finally get the damn kill is just a bit too much. It's Boom. Tier 2 top tower now going to drop.
Top tower
So they'll get away with that for free. Talon still showing no signs of wanting to fight this one out. And they might, like, Talon might just avoid up until Savage is, like, completely ready. You know, you got the BKB, you go for the Silver Edge, you get the Daedalus, whatever else you want, and
Dire are
just
scanning.
everything available might be the idea for Talon before they get moving.
Don't fault them for that. I think it's just a really good understanding of what Razor can do right now in this game. It's not just the items on Savage. I think it's actually really important to get double 4 stabs off. You already have one in Jokam. You're going to farm one on Cuckoo.
Radiant
You need both of them just in case Savage does get jumped, does get static linked. You can bail him out, break that link early, then just try to kite Jackie as much as possible. Easier said than done with how fast the Razor moves. And again, with all of these ways of dispelling with the BKB and the Manta. But that is the situation you're finding yourself here. So BKB up for Savage's one start. It's going to be the Remnant's Rooch next, which for Tiny with his high base damage is a pretty significant magical crit to play with. And for the side of Talon, it's a matter of patience, right? Like, because you are getting big. WS has the full AC. He's going to go for Boots of Bearing into a Blink BKB. Mikado has his own BKB up. And they have a way of weaving in and out. You don't have debuff immunity Pierce here on Boom outside of, I suppose, Static Link and eventually, say, an Ags up for Zhao. Could be one way. Gonna take a little bit more time for that. I don't know if there's pressure for Talon to play quick either, to be fair, but they are running in here.
Mikado, he's found the primary target. Every single time he'll take down Tims, he will do it. Tim's trying to buy himself some time, does get a shackle off, but it's not going to matter. He's gone. Jab's going to roll in anyway and try to get some kind of fight started for his side. But it doesn't look very confident here from Boom. They look like they want to retreat, and now Talon, they'll happily take the fight. But Zhao pops the song, allows his team to get the hell out of there. They just don't see the angle they were looking for that fight. And Talon, they're just going to go back and perhaps just take this Tormentor. And they will.
Yeah. Pretty clean for Talon. Didn't have to expend as much. So Song is down for 100 seconds. A pretty big window actually opens here for Talon where they could play. Still having some of those connection issues hanging true. And we'll take the free shard on Cuckoo, which isn't the most impactful. It can be quite nice if you do get a free upheaval going. Whether or not Cuckoo can actually find a position, though, is a different story. It's been a little bit rough for Cuckoo to just try to find a backline when you're playing up against a Pangolier. So chances are not the most impactful shard, but can, again, be quite nice if you get some utility on upheaval. Maybe it makes the high ground easier if you can somehow find yourself in that position here for Talon, as it's 11-11, 4K lead up for Talon, but Boom by no means out of the picture, of course. Jackie still maintaining the 2K lead over the next cores of Talon. Talon overall are starting to eclipse the other cores. Armel and Jab starting to lag behind. Armel, Mikado, WS, and Savage starting to pull ahead. So it's looking a little bit similar to how Game 2 was, to an extent, in terms of net worth distribution. I think the key aspect now for Boom is, you know, whether or not you can hit this refresh on Jackie. Right? Like, that's the big one. The Satanic's nice. It's really the refresh orb on Razor that feels insane. Double BKB, double Static Link, double Eye of the Storm is just pain for Talon to have to play into. And that's always like the ace up the hole there for the Razor. You're going to have to try to kite out a good long duration of debuff immunity, kite out a very long set of double Eye of the Storm playing around there. And that is the threat as the game scales on. Haven't really seen it pan out yet. I think it's kind of the nature for Southeast Asia when so much is on the line that you start to take things very cautiously, right? Like, you're not looking for big angles back in. You're using Song defensively. Talon's not throwing everything out either all the time. If they find Tims, they're pretty happy to just go back for the most part. Reset, don't rush things too hard. So it does lead to that slower pace overall. But it is what it is. It's a best of one. It's your ticket to TI on the line. It's your last chance to get to the big one this year, Mikey.
It is your last chance. We are going to have the pause dragging out a little bit longer than we would have liked, but I'm sure they'll be back rather soon here. Talon again have done a fantastic job of just completely avoiding playing the game. It seems like, which is something that I think Talon does better than any other team in SEA. Is when they're losing, they just avoid you the whole 20-30 minutes. You know, just make you run around the map, play cat and mouse. It's not a pretty kind of Dota to watch, Sean, but it is a very effective kind of Dota if you're trying to win. And
that it is.
Talon are the masters of doing that, John. Just being the mice in this scenario.
And that they are. That they are. They dodge out quite nicely. And, you know, I mean, to be fair, Boom has been dodging as well, right? Like, they're not exactly grouping up to be aggressive on Boom as well. So, I mean, they're at the disadvantage, so it's fair enough, even with all this farm on Jackie, right? You don't want to risk it. So it's both sides kind of playing defensive overall.
Well, hopefully this pause is over rather soon here in Joe Cam.
Yeah.
The PC's been exploded on him or something.
They've had some PC issues. Again, this is really the reason why I got abandoned by good old Lane. He actually had to leave and pick up a PC to replace. Surprised there's still some issues. Legitimately, he said, we have to go to Cuckoo's house and get a PC. I'm like, all right. So that is the end of my night.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, Cuckoo's PC. So hopefully that sorts things out. We had a reconnect for good old Joe Cam. See if things are good. Looks like we have to go ahead. Back into the game we go. I have to appreciate the symmetry though, Mike. 11 to 11. Isn't it nice? We don't have 11 minutes in, sadly. This is the reality that we're 31 minutes in with 22 kills.
Yes.
But it's nice to see that in the scoreboard. 1-1-1-1. I do wonder if at some point Boom start to worry. How about pinning all their hopes on just, say, Jackie? Because, again, you do scale to an extent on Jabs and Armel. But the Razor really starts to become your end-game solution, right? Satanic coming in, I'm expecting either, if he wants to take a risk and be right on top of the right heroes here for Jackie, Blink. If not, standard is Refresh. So either or for Jackie kind of makes sense. I could see a use case for either, as it has been a little bit challenging out to try to find Savage in the back, right, and try to just static link him. I think Savage has been much more cautious with his positioning in this game. But yeah, like, you do start to lose that impact on Quap. You do start to lose some of that damage on Jabs. There is utility, of course. I think a Basher here for the Pangolier is the way to go. It's going to be the Nullifier first for Jabs. But if you find yourself, 10 minutes later with Basher on top for the Pango, with, say, maxed out Dagon for Armel, things do get spicy. Whether or not it's spicy enough, I mean, we'll have to see.
Still waiting here. Joe Cam gonna just continue scouting around the bottom side of this map. We'll be seeing Bai Jiao with his mirror images. Meanwhile, Roshan, though, has now officially begun. Satanic up on Jackie. Perfect timing for this fight. Revenant's Brooch, meanwhile, now up on Savage. Good luck to move in. Jiao, rather Joe Cam, already scouting out this move here from Boom. It's going to be another awkward fight initiation, though they do get a Hex on Joe Cam, but he does just purge it off immediately as the Raw not coming out yet for WS. He does eventually get it onto Jackie, and Savage just jumps in. Jackie, not dead yet, gets the Satanic off, looking to turn this one around. Savage, he's trapped in the shards. He's trapped in the wards. The wards trap him up. 4 down for Talon. Makoto, the only survivor. He's got no remnants, though.
Oh, boy.
Oh, Savage. He gets ward trapped here by Tims. I don't know if it was on purpose by Tims, John, but I'll give him the credit. And well, with that, now they get fully wiped. Roshan to go to boom. And it's the opening they've been looking for a while now.
That it is. It looked like a decent start for Talon. Jokam breaking that smoke. They managed to work the angle from the low ground, but they forced that issue so damn hard on the side of Talon. And they're not able to get the 4 stabs out. Like, you lose your supports in the back so quick from that jump in from jabs, from Armel having these angles. And look at that, the Sonic Wave cuts off from the Slark. You're not able to force that on Kuku. He was trying to walk up. Just gets bursted down by Armel. And it's that kite ability now for the Tiny that's the concern. High ground opens up. The Roshan banner making a big opening here for the side of Boom. At the least you have Kuku with the upheaval stall that can kind of make things awkward just a tad bit, but finding 2 lives on Jackie, it feels next to impossible. He's got Eye of the Storm back up. He's got Satanic back up. Just the BKB lacking. So take the early racks, immediately mid gone. And Talon suddenly 4K behind after, again, just bad positioning. We were just talking about Savage starting to find these positions for himself. Suddenly caught in the middle of nowhere. I feel like Savage has nightmares about being trapped in the wrong part of the map from all these moments in his career so far.
Yeah, it's
Jokam?
absolutely crazy. Jabs looking to move in. Won't find anything. So there'll be 1 racks down now here, Talon.
Radiant are scared.
But not out of the game. Again, this is classic Talon. They've been in this position many, many times. Nothing new for Talon. Another day. The Boom Esports now 1 step closer. If they find Jokam now, Jokam will go into the Shadow Dance. Nullifier applied, but they're not going to chase that deep. They'll hold out.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
It's hard to see the ideal angle for Talon to take these fights in. I think that looked okay if the supports didn't get caught in that huge Sonic Wave out from Armel. That damage is just blisteringly high. I think, again, if you get a good chaotic offering and you don't get kited on your Tiny, that has to be key, is they'll start again.
Now they sure will. T3 Tower going to be under siege. Boom Esports closer and closer to the victory they're looking for. Looking for the T3 Tower. Jackie, he's going to make his reappearance in that bottom lane. Now Refresher Orb up on the Razor. Jokam.
Oh boy.
Going to be caught on the Slark. He's down, but he's got buyback. Everything's fine for Talon. They've still got 5 heroes if they need it. Very intimidating, though, with this Refresher Orb on Jackie. If he wipes you one last time, they can just go straight for the jugular here.
Radiant are scared.
10 times for Talon. Kuku's making it pretty difficult with the upheaval to move up that high ground, though, as we tend to see from these Warlocks. But Jackie, not to be outdone, will move in. T3 Tower now gone. Onto the bottom racks. No fear for the Razor quite yet. Meanwhile, Shackle was on Savage, but they have got Tims, who has died back on the Shaman. That might be it for the high ground pursuit of Boom, but it seems like Jackie's not done. He wants the racks. Makoto's pressure. This feels so risky without Tims now. Avalanche tosses in. They're looking for that Aegis. Jackie will lose it. He didn't have the Satanic ready, but now he will. Savage, meanwhile, can he get away from this? Jackie's moving in. The depth round is out. The BKB is forced, but it's Savage versus the world. Makoto jumps in. The Sonic Wave not enough to kill them as a song now committed. Trying to find Savage, but he's out of there. They'll just get the hell out and retreat. It's too spooky now. Boom Esports. They'll get a tier 3. They won't find another Rax. But without Tims, it's all too scary. They will retreat and look for it another day.
Talon hang on to this game somehow. 3K lead still maintaining for Boom. They do lose Aegis. Refresh was not popped by Jackie. So the double BKB, double Eye of the Storm, double Static Link is still on hand. Big difference there for Talon is, as Savage jumps in, the supports were free to utilize their 4 stabs. At least Jokam was. You don't have one on Kuku as he's decided to go away, just stay on the Solar Crest, Glimmer, try to go for a Lotus Orb next to try to protect. But that's a key thing. You don't get that big value from the first static, and that makes it a little bit awkward for Jackie to try to keep that chase as well. Now, mind you, again, for these team fights of Talon, they always have to have Chaotic Offering on hand. It's such a long cooldown. whenever that's down, Boom should have some bigger confidence. Maybe you just wait out until Song's back up for the reset. You can start to wait for next rush as well if you'd want. You've got the full Ags on Zhao. So you do have the Reel In True Spell immunity along with the Ensnare on debuff immunity as well with a little bit of a break. So a lot of more control here from the Naga Siren. Big concern for Talon is, again, for Savage, his biggest issue has been being kited around, being stuck in areas. This Naga can ensure that you can always find a way to entrap that Tiny now as Boom will go hunting with a smoke. It just feels like they're one good fight away. And without that chaotic offering in Talon, this is a big opening if they can find it in the next minute here.
Radiant are scanning.
They can find it. That's the key word. Key phrase. Armel, he'll pick up the invis. Makoto is hanging about mid. Jackie's had his smoke broken. Makoto looking to retreat. The plasma field will see nothing either. Makoto's fine. Jackie, though, could still try to just pursue high ground again. You don't have the Aegis this time, however. It's a little bit riskier. It seems like they will play it safe and make the retrieval. Boom, currently according to the plus 73% chance of winning this game. So you don't want to hand it back to Talon, who again are experts at taking games like this. This is their bread and butter, I want to say.
That it is.
It's like a
They
Shiva's
love
guard.
hanging on. They love defending.
Oh, they do.
Okay.
The happy death is really Talon's happiest time whenever they get the chance. Not happy death yet, though, John. Shiva's
No,
guard now,
I mean-
Makoto.
And big timing for him. Not the biggest in the world, but that should mitigate some of the healing as well from the Song of the Siren. So there's some good utility coming out from the passive, of course. Just 25% less health restoration is pretty impactful. And that should, again, just drop that value from Naga a little bit. They have the non-committal push, though, with the Shaman Wards, and you'll just take it every time. Costs you nothing. Drop the wards, watch if anyone comes in, and just take it for free. Mikado will at least... Oh,
Armel does jump in. They've got a shackle as well. Makoto, though, going to be saved here by the golden drop of Cuckoo. Shackles will cancel as WS going to jump in with the roar onto Tim's. Tim's getting blown up eventually. Foul play keeping him alive, though, but he finally does go down to the slider fist. It's Makoto trying to run. Big Sonic Wave, though, Armel!
no buyback.
4 heroes. Makoto's down. No buyback available. Savage to boot. He's got buyback on the Tiny. He'll make his reappearance here, but WS is down. Buyback on him. He'll commit immediately. As Boom now, they can smell it. They're that close, Jonathan. They can feel it. TI is in their hands at the moment. They just need to not drop the ball.
They just have one Rax to take. They did pop refresh on Jackie, but he still has another static link to play with. And you're down 2 big heroes on Talon. Even with a respawn on Kuku, you won't have chaotic offering for the turnaround play. And Talon have to figure out some sort of angle. They're just not running into Boom. Maybe just having to play into the Megas now at this point. Accepting that fate. As you said, happy death for Talon is their happiest of times. They're going to get into it soon. As there's just no play.
I mean, they've got Makoto back up in 20 seconds here. That'll be their last-ditch defense. They do try to jump in. Jackie perfectly fine, though. Savage in trouble again. The ensnare locking him down. The Sonic Wave from Armel onto 2. Savage still in huge danger. The death straddled by time, though. But it still seems like they'll stun him up. Here's Savage being controlled by Jabs as they move in again and snaring him by the fountain. Cuckoo's going to die. They'll ignore the Tiny, but Mega creeps are up. It's Talon's favorite time. Happy death time. Unless Boom don't back off, and they don't need to. It's 3v5, there's no supports. Armel says, why are we leaving?
Yeah,
But Boom,
I don't follow. I mean,
they're gonna play it
there's
safe.
real... it doesn't feel great, but I suppose it's respectable. You've got a 17k lead. You have nothing to worry about at this point. Talon, the only way I see them coming back now is just like some tossbacks, which you only have the Tiny that can achieve that. You're going to put Savage in the firing line. We're seeing the impact of this Ags out from Zhao to reel in through BKBs. The Ensnare through the BKB is massive. You have at least the double roar on WS, but I know you have to take this fight piecemeal on Talon, like piecemeal by piece. It's a tough one to find some good angles in. They're constantly only jumping Tims. He has 8 out of the 14 kills Talon has found. Like, it's the Shaman show that they're killing, but no one else, really. Not in some time at the very least. Like, Jackie's had a perfect game on this Razor. And for Talon, in this kind of situation, it does feel like you'll need, what, 2, maybe 3 teamfight wins to really have a shot to apply that pressure on the opposite side. Boom, we'll go for the smoke play now. Talon at least have the chaotic offering ready. So there's some counter fight, but everything's up as well here for Boom. Songs back up. Wards in 20 seconds.
Looking to move in. Armel is there. Savage, he's hexed up. They're going to move in with the big Sonic Wave, and they've got the Static Link again on Savage. He's not getting full stuffed out. The Nullify making it very hard, but he has his BKB. He'll make it away for now. They got Tim's on the Shaman. Armel still chasing Savage, though. He wants the big rock, and Tony's gone. No buyback on Savage. He's down for 2 minutes. It's all up to Makoto on WS to find a way with these 2 supports of theirs. Boom. Are they're actually retreating? Do they not know? Do they not know? No, they must know. They must know. They're going for a road. They're playing it safe. They're not taking any chances.
Yeah, not against Talon. Not against the opponent that, you know, even Armel thought would go to TI in his prediction. Looking like he'll be the one to put a stop to that one. And for Talon, this game's feeling impossible. I don't know what you're expecting to do at this point. You don't have damage on Mikado. He did go Chain Gang. Maybe a steal from her Slark.
Jumps in.
Too early.
Too early indeed. Had no vision though, to be fair. We'll see if this Roshan is going to come back to bite them in the ass later on. They had 2 minutes without Savage up. In fairness, Savage doesn't really feel like the problem anyway. I still think Makoto's the scary one, even though he's really lacking quite a bit of damage here. Zhao gonna have his refresher orb kind of deleted because Jokam finds his courier, but that doesn't matter because he's gonna refresh a shard now from Roshan. It's a bit of a consolation prize. So they're gonna move up again. Butterfly now up on Jackie. Tier 4 towers. Jackie's onto it. Shards down. So many wards. Tier 4 towers both exposed now as Makoto jumping in. WS in trouble. WS should be dropping the song. Zhao, he'll hold them all down. Look at this. A celebration Sonic Wave. No, even just a scream from WS. The Ancient completely exposed. Talon are not doing it here. I think Boom have got it.
Nope.
The Ancient going down. Boom Esports. They've